ain't with this dark shit.
No, it's too wild.
So my center?
Couple times.
Alright, it's too wild for you. I look like midnight in purple.
Nah, you too wild, sir. Live on YouTube, live on Facebook. Any questions? Chat.
Alright. It's not bad.
Couple times, sir.
It ain't bad. That's the one. Make sure y'all do me right tonight.
Couple times.
If anybody want more blum,
I'm too wild, sir.
let me know, man.
Couple times.
That done to me, that kind of addictive for me, so I fucks with it something different.
God. It's like how we are at the sunflower seed.
Nah.
Either
Nah. That should be, you know, that's something demonic.
It might be a Judite thing, because I'm lying.
I'm like, why don't you got trouble for that little small thing, man? That shit ain't even got no taste. Like, what is it? I think you're just like chewing the shit. It could be the same thing like chewing gum for real.
Yeah, it is.
You're just chewing something. You know what I mean? Alright. Thumb. Anybody have any questions? You'll type them in. Alright. Let me get a little bit up on this mic there. Okay, y'all look at the bass and the treble. Let me see what's good.
Want some more bass on it, sir?
Which one you treble? Okay, the bass and the treble is a 2 on the outside.
God.
Brock, you can just look at it right there. Look Brock on it.
God.
See the 2 on the outside where that light is? Alright, one is bass, one is treble, right? The one on the bottom, turn it up a little bit. Up. Nah, well, to the left. Right, stop right there. Testing 1. Turn the one on the top to the right. 1, 2, 1, 2. The one on the top to the back to the left, and then one on the bottom to the right a little bit more. Testing 1, then raise the volume up. 1. Testing 1. Yeah, that's. Hold on. Move your hand. Let me see something. The one on the top, turn it to the left some more. Some more. Right. 1. Yeah, that's. I'll take that. I'll take it for now. I'll try to adjust it to how I really like it.
Once you do it, I'll see what it's like. So
yeah, that bass and treble will be on the other side. I prefer it sound a certain way. You might want to pull it back some too. You know what I mean? Try it and see. Let's pull it. No, pull the speaker back to the table. It's starting to vibrate. Reverb.
Yeah, it's reverb.
I moved it a little bit. That seems to work. Maybe I'll just turn the volume down a little bit. It's a little tight. Testing 1. Yeah, that'll work. Does the Facebook have a title? I ain't seen no title.
Yeah, it's one on there, so it's the same as the YouTube.
Okay. You sure?
How can I say?
Okay.
If you go to share, you'll see it.
No, sir.
How can I say?
Okay, I see now.
How can I say?
Have a little one still. Yeah, for some reason. All right. If anybody has any questions. All right.
Like I said, I did. I have a question, sir. If I may, can I get the breakdown on some fake Israelite, him being a Christian, he has a white woman, and he wants to justify that by saying the scripture words, when you sojourneth with a stranger, and we shall be a light unto the Gentiles. That's when you get the proper breakdown on those scriptures.
He have a what?
He's with a white woman, and he's using these two scriptures to justify Israelites being able to sleep with white women or women of different nations.
Okay.
These two scriptures right here, these two precepts.
Okay. All right, pull anyone first. Let's start with one. And we go, all right. Let's move to the chat. If you have questions in your online, just leave your question typed in, all right?
So the first one, sir, is Numbers chapter 15, verse 16. One law and one manner shall be for you, and for the stranger that sojourneth with you.
Where you at? First one?
Numbers chapter 15, verse 16.
Skip up to 14.
Numbers chapter 15, verse 14. And if a stranger sojourn with you, or whosoever be among you in your generations, and will offer an offering made by fire of a sweet savor.
All right, read again from the top.
Numbers chapter 15, verse 14. And if a stranger sojourn with you, or whosoever be among you in your generations, and will offer an offering made by fire.
Numbers is, say it again, 15 or what?
15 and 14, sir.
Stranger sojourned, right?
Sir. And will offer an offering made by fire of a sweet savor unto the Lord, as ye do, so he shall do.
Numbers 15, right?
Yeah, 15, sir.
Okay. Right. Now he's saying the stranger is a heathen.
Sir.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so he's saying that these strangers are heathens, and that means you could marry them.
Sir.
But where does it say you can marry the stranger?
They don't say that in the Bible at all.
That's okay. Most times when they give you these type of questions,
Sir,
what you could do is you could, for argument's sake, let's assume what he is saying is correct. Right. Let's assume that what this person is saying is absolutely right.
Sir.
And if it's right, then this scripture here is talking about the heathens that is among us.
Right.
Where's the law saying we can marry that heathen?
There is no law.
He had to prove that. He make him prove that. Now let's just read on just for argument's sake with him. All right. We say Numbers 15 and what?
15 and 14, sir.
Barack, hold for me, James 1:1.
And if a stranger sojourn with you, or whosoever be among you in your generations, and will offer an offering made by fire of a sweet Savior unto the Lord, as ye do, so he shall do. One ordinance shall be both for you of the congregation, and also for the stranger that sojourneth with you, an ordinance forever in your generations, as ye are. So shall the stranger be before the Lord. One law and one manner shall be for you.
For you, go ahead.
And for the stranger that sojourneth with you.
So now, again, where is the law saying that you could marry this stranger? Right? There's tons of laws saying, take a wife of the children of thy fathers. That's in Tobit. Right? Tobit 4:12. Avoid all whoredoms. Chiefly take a wife of the children of thy fathers. She must be of the 12 tribes of the seed of her fathers. He must give me Deuteronomy 7 and what's the other one? 7 and 6?
7 and 5, sir.
7 and 5 and 6. All right, Barack, hold James 1:1, all right?
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 5. But thus shall ye deal with them, Ye shall destroy their altars, and break down their images, and cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
Well, where's making the marriages with them? It's 3 and 4 something?
It's 3. 3.
Yeah.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 and 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughters thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you, and destroy thee suddenly. But thus shall he deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars, and break down their images.
Right, so we have a law not to marry heathens.
Right.
There's a law not to marry them. So where's the law that says these strangers, if they're heathens, that we could marry them?
Right.
It doesn't exist. The stranger, let's get numbers 15 and 1.
So like, if I may, I'm looking at the one he actually pulled. He pulled one in Leviticus 17 and 10.
Okay, we can find that one too. All right.
Leviticus chapter 17, verse 10. And whatsoever man there be of the house of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn among you, that eateth any manner of blood, I will even set my face against that soul that eateth blood, and will cut him off from among his people. He went always to 12. For the life of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it to you upon the altar to make an atonement for your souls. For it is the blood that maketh an atonement for the soul. Verse 12. Therefore I said unto the children of Israel, no soul of you shall eat blood, neither shall any stranger that sojourneth among you eat blood. All right.
So now, to somebody who, he has a white woman, he said, right? So he has a white woman. So now it's just the mic. How I moved it. He has a white broad, right? So of course he's looking for every opportunity to make sure that he is not guilty every time he has sex with this woman. Right? And which that's how Christians operate. Christians want to live a guiltless life.
Right.
When guilt is effing good, SHALAM. Guilt is good. It's good to feel that weight on your chest sometimes. It's good to feel that on your shoulders.
Right.
You get the point? Having that guilt is good. It's a good thing. It lets you know you have a conscience. The minute you stop feeling guilty is when you're going to go have sex with a white woman.
Right.
And he needs for himself to stop feeling guilty.
Right.
Right? He needs that for himself to stop feeling guilty. It's the same. It's the same reason why Muslims like to quote the Bible.
Right.
Quoting the Bible makes them not feel guilty because it's common knowledge now Islam is the religion of the Arabs. And we see how the Arabs treat black people. We see that the Quran doesn't apply to black people. So in order to not feel guilty about saying Assalamu alaikum, we honor the Quran and the Bible. We honor the prophets of both Ishmael and Isaac. They have to do that so they don't feel cut. They don't feel guilty because they're Christian. You get the point? And he's a Christian the same way. These strangers here is not talking about heathens. These strangers here are talking about Israelites by blood who are not from that area they're from. You get the point? This is hospitality. This is brotherhood. Hospitality and brother. That's the best way I could describe it to you. This is Lot and the angels when they came to his door.
Right.
This is the Ephraimite and the brother who took him in Judges 19. The Ephraimite priest. No, the Ephraimite priest. The Ephraimite was an Ephraimite in the land of Benjamin. He was a Levite priest from Ephraim. Forget how it was. But Judges 19, where he went seeking after his woman. This is that thing. This is in the New Testament. Paul talk about this couple. What the hell is their name? A man and a woman. And they were was so kind and receiving to them and helped them. He named them that they were so kind in hospitality. You get the point? This is that thing they're talking about, that this person is not in the commonwealth of Israel, but they're Israelite by blood. And that person is sojourning among you, meaning they ain't living there. Right. They're passing through. Right. So this could be someone who's born in another land or from another tribe. You get me? Who's living in the land you're in, and the law has a provision for when that person comes in, you still have to let them keep the law that we keep. Right. Like there's no separation just because this person, this is Ruth. Remember Ruth, what it described as? The Moabitess. Right? Meaning she lived and grew up in Moab because her land was going through a famine at the time. She moved to Moab. Then Moab went through a famine. And she had to come home back. Now, are they going to say because you lived among Moab, we let you worship Buddha? No, you still have to come here and go according to our custom. You get the point? And she did it because she was an Israelite. She did things according to the custom. This is that law. So first, give me James 1:1.
Go.
All right, give me James 1:1 real quick.
Go. The book of James, chapter 1, verse 1. James, a servant of God and of the Lord, Jesus Christ, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting.
Read again.
James, a servant of God and of the Lord Jesus Christ, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting.
James, a servant of God to the 12 tribes scattered abroad. Right? Israel is scattered abroad. That's what you have to understand. Right. Even from them days, there's the bulk of Israel in Israel, but then you have Israelites who's living outside. Right? And Israelites from other tribes. Now give me 1 Peter 1:1.
First Peter chapter 1, verse 1. Peter, an apostle of Jesus Christ, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia, elect according to the foreknowledge of God the Father, through sanctification of the Spirit, unto obedience and sprinkling of the blood of Jesus Christ. Grace unto you, and peace be multiplied.
All right, should we read it one more time?
First Peter chapter 1, verse 1. Peter, an apostle of Jesus Christ, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia.
Right. So now this is again Paul writing to Peter. Right. You get the point? And he's addressing Peter, and not just Peter, but to the strangers scattered abroad. These are the same strangers they're talking about. Right. The Bible has never left Israel. Right. What he doesn't understand is the Lord is not a punk like him. You understand? The Lord is not a man who is driven by feelings and temporary, desires. Right. The Lord made an oath, and that's what it is. He made an oath. His law says, in order for sin to be forgiven, something has to die. Yahushua was his favorite. Right. And he kept that law. Right. So let that put into perspective the kind of God, the kind of power we serve. He killed his favorite one. Right. He allowed it to happen and he did it. Watched him suffer and die. You get the point? But this faggot here now, he wants to change that so he can have sex with white women. He's disgusted. Now let's go back to Leviticus. Hold on, let me give it one more. Where's Isaiah 45:4? See?
Isaiah 45:4.
Please.
Sir. Isaiah chapter 45, verse 4.
No sweat. All right, you have it? No. Not yet? Go ahead on.
For Jacob, my servant's sake, and Israel, mine elect, I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee.
You understand? Like, this is who we're talking about. Right. Jacob and Israel, mine elect. Right. Like this, the strangers he's talking about is of Israel. Right. You understand? Is of Israel. Because why? In 1 Peter, when you read through the whole thing, he said the strangers, the elect of Israel. Right. You don't know who the elect is? That's your 45 and 4. Right. Jacob is his elect. The strangers are Jacob. You get the point? Read 1 Peter. Barack, read 1 Peter 1:1 because I hold 45 and 4, right? Okay, sir.
The book of 1 Peter, so like you said, yeah.
1 Peter 1:1, nice and loud, all right?
Verse 1. Peter, an apostle of Jesus Christ, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia. Verse 2. Elect according to the foreknowledge of God the Father.
So who is the elect according to the foreknowledge of God the Father? The strangers. Right. Because that's who he's talking about. Okay. Peter and the strangers here, there, and everywhere. That's of Israel, that's scattered all over. Right. Now you go to 45 and 4.
Okay. Isaiah chapter 45, verse 4. For Jacob, my servant's sake, and Israel, my elect.
Right. Who is the elect? Israel. Right. Who are the strangers? Israel. Right. All right. Now let's go back to Leviticus 10.
Okay. What verse, sir?
All right. Now let's get the Hebrew.
Okay.
All right, pull it up in the Blue Letter Bible. Okay. And let's see what it is.
So like what verse was it?
Leviticus 17 and 10, I believe you said.
Yeah, okay. Leviticus 17, verse 10. And whatsoever man there be of the house of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn among you.
Right, and we just proved the strangers are the elect of Israel. And the strangers who he said is his elect, right, are Israelites from the house of Jacob. Go ahead.
That eateth any manner of blood. I will even set my face against thy soul that eateth blood, and will cut him off from among his people.
All right. So, okay, if the stranger is a heathen, he's cutting the heathen off from the heathens.
Right.
That's what he said there. He said, if you or the stranger among you eateth blood, I will turn my face from him and cut him off from his people. Right. So if the stranger is a white man, the Lord is going to cut this white man off from his people. That sounds like a blessing for the white man. Right. You know, for any heathen. This dude here, he's just thinking with the wrong head out. Right. He's just a dummy. Right. All right. You pull it in the Blue Letter Bible.
Okay, sir.
All right.
The Hebrew outline of biblical usage.
All right. What is the Hebrew?
Gar.
Gar.
Right. Masculine noun.
All right. It's a masculine noun. Gar. Ga and the Ra connected. All right. What's the Strong's number?
Strong's number H14. Yeah, H1481.
No. That's not the that's the root word, right?
Oh, H1616.
Right. That's the God for the word. That's the word in the actual scripture.
Okay, good, sir.
The etymology of the word meaning like this, meaning like competition is a word. Right. The root word is what? Compete. Right. So this God here would be competition. The root would be compete. So when you go down, you read the root. It's from the root word what? Gawar.
Yeah, concept.
Right? Gawar. What's the Strong's number for that?
That's 1481, sir.
All right. So now we're going to check the two of them out. So this God here, from exactly Leviticus 17 and 10, it means what?
It means a sojourner, a temporary inhabitant, a newcomer lacking inherited rights.
Right, a newcomer lacking inherited rights. Meaning what? If I'm from I.S.U.P.K. and I come to Naphtali land.
Right.
Do I have any inherited rights there? Does any land mine? I don't have that because this is not my land. I'm not from this tribe. I'm a guest.
Right.
I'm a guest in this house. Let's just somebody come to your house for a few days.
Right.
You're going to turn the house over to them for hospitality, but don't get twisted, nigga. This is your house.
Right.
And that's understood amongst us. You get the point? Now let's get the root. Gawar, right? Come on, fool. Fuck. Right, let's get the root one. H1 481. All right? Go ahead.
Properly a guest. By implication, a foreigner.
Hold on. Now you start at the top. Sojourn.
To sojourn, abide, dwell in, dwell with, remain, inhabit, be a stranger, be continuing, surely.
Right. So now this is somebody who is a traveler. That's what a sojourner is.
Right.
Somebody who's abiding. This person is staying with you for a minute. All right. To dwell with, to remain, to inhabit, to be a stranger. I'll be a stranger in Atlanta next week, Lord Allah. I plan to be an extreme stranger. I don't want nobody think I'm from Atlanta. It's a lot. No disrespect to the brothers down there. You're better men than me. But you're living down there in Sodom.
Right.
Salaki. Right? I'm a stranger in America right now. You get the point? It's that. All right, let's get some more.
Qual, to sojourn, dwell for a time, to abide, stay, temporarily dwell.
To temporarily dwell. So it's giving you the whole context of it.
Right.
That this is a person who is temporarily staying there.
Right.
A guest, a traveler. You get the point? Go ahead.
Hifpolel.
Don't worry about it.
To seek hospitality with. To assemble oneself.
Right. This is somebody who is seeking hospitality with you.
Right.
The laws of hospitality, who does it apply to? The heathen? It does not apply to the heathen.
Right.
You get the point? What he's talking about here is just because he wants to have sex with white women.
Right.
And this is what I would tell you. Don't fight him.
Right.
Why you want to fight him?
Right.
Let him go do his thing. He's adamant about this shit, right? Go do it. Go do it. When that bitch chilling on him, now we gonna,
right.
You know where to come. Don't fight him or nothing. But if this is somebody want to ask you for the breakdown, this is you break it down for them. And you go to all your stranger scriptures. Let me get some more stranger. Let me see if I can get two more for you.
Sir.
All right. The strangers among you. Give me one in the New Testament, the Commonwealth, strangers from the Commonwealth of Israel. Ephesians 2 and 12. Give me that. We good on the internet now? I lost it though. As soon as I start talking about Atlanta being Sodom. Alright, good.
Ephesians, sir.
Alright, hold that. We good to go? All right. Give me 2 Chronicles. Hold on. Let me get Ephesians. Read Ephesians first.
Ephesians chapter 2, verse 12. That at that time ye were without Christ, being aliens.
Start at 11.
Verse 11. Wherefore remember that ye being in time past Gentiles in the flesh.
Right? In times past, you were Gentiles in the flesh.
Right.
What does that mean?
Meaning we were cut off because of we weren't following the laws.
We were go ahead.
Sir, we were like strangers.
That's true, but I need to break it down a little more. Go ahead.
It's like, we were following the cultures and customs of the heathens.
Of the heathens, right? We was disobeying the Lord, but we were Gentiles in the flesh, meaning what we did with our flesh was the things heathens do.
Right.
Like him having sex with a white woman. That's the thing, a heathen. Who has sex with white women?
White people.
White men.
Right.
Are you a white man? Why would you do it?
Right.
You get the point? That's what it is. It's you doing the things a heathen does.
Right.
And heathens have sex with their women. You having sex with a heathen woman, you are doing the things the Gentiles do. And the Gentiles in this context, there's two Gentiles references or context in the Bible. What's the first one?
Gentiles are actually the heathens who are not of Israel.
Right. So there's Gentiles. That's Gentiles. Hold on. This is the definition you want to remember. There's Gentiles in name only, and there's Gentiles by birth. A Gentile in name only is what, bruh?
An Israelite that's living in a I would say heathen land or doing the custom of the heathen.
So why is it in name only?
Because it's like would it be like a byword or?
It's like a byword, like a title. All right, I'm gonna give you a perfect example.
Sir.
Right. When I went back to Trinidad last year, the brothers couldn't wait to remind me how much I was a Yankee and not a Trini anymore. And it still hurts me to this day. Confession is good for the soul. I'm talking about this, that, the other. My brother Salaki said, it ain't like that now. You spend too much time. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, you motherfucker. All right, brother, so on. You get the point? Because now, you know what Yankee means? You know what Yankee means? Bruh? Yankee?
I know what is used to refer to. Like,
what does it mean?
People who are Americanized or like white.
Okay, but what does Yankee mean?
I don't know exactly.
Sis, where do you hear the word Yankee from?
Yankee. I usually hear it from Benjamin. So.
Okay, true. But okay, the New York Yankees. Right. You might need to know the history of Benjamin migration. No. Any Benjamin missing from the island is on Flatbush Avenue in New York. Yeah, Flatbush or Nordstrom. Right, Brooklyn. That's your Benjamin from the Caribbean. He's missing. All of a sudden, hey, I didn't see Johnny in a minute. Yeah, he in foreign now. Where 90% he is on Flatbush or Nordstrom in New York. I guarantee it. Right? If he ain't there right now, he was there. Just go ask which direction he go from there. Right? New York is called the team Yankees, right? The New York Yankees. Right. So now that term has become synonymous with Benjamites who go away and live for a time and come back. They're from New York or they're from where the Yankees are. So they call you Yankee, the Yankee boy come back. Right. Am I a Yankee? I'm not from goddamn New York. Right. However, it's over time, it's any Benjamite who is no longer part of the Commonwealth or the Caribbean culture. You were born there, but you Americanized. Right? I know about Smart Trip and underground trains. So when I go home, it's inconvenience. It's like, but is it really inconvenience or now I'm Americanized? Now I'm a Yankee. Right. You get the point? I'm taking on the customs and the way of life here. Right. So it makes me what? Back there? Stranger. An effing stranger. It's like, where you from? You're not from here. Right. It's like, yeah, I'm from right here. Nah, you ain't sounding like you from here. I'm from right here. I say, no, you ain't from here. You understand? It's that. So now I'm a stranger in the same land I'm from. Right. Do I keep different laws? No. Well, I have to keep the laws down there. Right. You understand? Because I'm a stranger in that land. Right. That's this law. That's what he's talking about. You get the point? The land of Israel, we got laws. And you might have an Israelite who comes from a different place. Judah might have certain ways about them, customs or whatever. Right. You have a stranger coming from a different land, you gotta keep it. I'm just giving you it culturally. But here he's talking about just the laws of Israel,
right,
which is applying to the strangers who may come from a different country, a different nation, but not by blood.
Gotcha.
Meaning they're born in Moab, or they're born in Elam, or they're born in Ishmael,
gotcha.
and they're coming back. The Lord knew here that this would be the situation, and he's putting the law in place.
Gotcha.
These laws is in place either because this is what was going on all the time, or the Lord is seeing that this is what's going to happen.
Right.
You get the point?
Okay.
So,
it's like if I may say, I have Hellenists in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary.
you could get it.
Hellenists, Jews who made Greek their tongue, and with it often adopted Greek ideas and practices. This would be like the other instance of Gentiles.
Gentiles according to that's the Gentiles in name. You see, that's Gentile by name.
Gotcha.
Gentile by birth is what? Or flesh is what?
Is the heathen. So the Greeks.
Is the Greeks.
Right.
Is Moab.
Right.
It's Ham. That's the Gentile according to the flesh.
Right.
We are Gentiles by title only.
Right.
By name. You get the point?
Okay.
Just like George Bush is an American, Bill Clinton is American, Donald Trump is an American, Barack Obama is an American. How come they asked him for his birth certificate? How come we didn't have to see Donald Trump's birth certificate or Bill Clinton or Bush? Why was Barack Obama's birth certificate so imperative?
Because he was a stranger by blood.
He's a stranger to them.
Right.
He's not one of them.
Right.
Get the point? He is a stranger. He is to them, he would be like a Gentile if they were chosen. You get the point?
Right.
He is not from them.
Right.
You get me? Now they're asking Trump. They're saying, Trump, you originally from Germany, blah, 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 blah. But that thing ain't coming up because he is one of them who's just born somewhere else. But he is still one of them. So their constitution applies to him, the laws apply to him. You get the point?
Right.
It's that. Now this fool here, he just want to have sex with a dog. So just tell him, go have sex with your dog. We almost tell you. Some men like good strong drink, some men like the beer for $1. Go drink your dollar beer. That bitch ain't with shit anyway. You know what I mean? That ain't no skin off my nose. But don't come to try to teach it as if the Lord said it was okay.
Right.
It's not okay.
Right.
However, you do you, nigga. Do whatever you want to do. You get the point? I ain't got time for that shit. The people who want to learn how to follow, I got time for them. I could stand and bat all day for them.
That's right.
But if you just want to be, just led by down, you're down the road all the goddamn time, all right then. You start with white women, you end up with a white man. Yeah. Eventually. You get the point? Give me Ephesians 2:11 again. 11 to 12. And then somebody who was 2 Chronicles 30 and 25.
Ephesians 2:11. Wherefore remember that ye being in time past Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision by that which is called the circumcision in the flesh made by hands.
Right? In times past, read it again. In times past, those who was what?
In times past, Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision by that which is called the uncircumcision in the flesh made by the
slow down. In times past, what?
In time past, Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision.
Who are the Gentiles in the flesh who are called uncircumcision. Go ahead.
By that which is called the uncircumcision. By that which is.
You can't mix it up. Slow down and focus. You're gonna circumcise the whole class. You fucked up. I read it one more time. Don't try to understand it. I'll give you the understanding. But you try to understand it. He's like, it's like reading something saying the black and the unblack and the black on black. And he's like, what the fuck is this? This is why you can't teach yourself. The Bible is written for that. It's written in that way. Go ahead.
Being in time past, Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision by that which is called the circumcision in the flesh made by hands.
Okay, who could break it down? Stop chewing this down. God. So, I don't see I'm gonna bite my tongue off. It's coming. It's coming. Shit don't get dry. All the sugar going. Go ahead.
If I may, sir, it's referring to Israelites who were not physically circumcised, but they were, according to the covenant, they were.
Okay, you're not breaking this down. You're giving me your understanding. I need who could break it down. Break it down line by line.
So I can read again, sir.
Ephesians 2:11. Wherefore remember that ye, being in time past Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision, by that which is called the circumcision, in the flesh made by hands.
So this is saying, when it says, wherefore remember that ye being in times past Gentiles in the flesh, meaning there was a time when we were called Gentiles because of us not being circumcised and us practicing heathen customs. And then it's saying, who are called uncircumcision by that which is called the circumcision in the flesh. So there's a time when the priests or the people who were in Jerusalem still practicing our culture were calling us that were scattered or the strangers. They were calling us uncircumcised. They were calling us heathens because we were practicing the heathen culture.
That's it. Everybody understand that? In times past, the Gentiles in the flesh, meaning those of us who gave our flesh to the service of the heathen. We were called the uncircumcised by them which were called the circumcised. Paul is writing it like that because the New Testament, a great deal of it was the battle of the brothers, the scattered. The brothers in Jerusalem was not accepting the scattered back. Right? Peter, he wasn't trying to fuck with none of that shit. You get the point? He had to check Peter, respectfully a few times. There's another time in Acts where Paul is sitting with some of the brothers. I think Peter is there, sitting with some of the brothers from outside, and James walks in. James is Christ's physical brother. James walks in, Peter get up and leave. he up and leave Paul and them and goes over there like, he ain't really messing with them. And Paul kind of had to step to them like, we can't be doing that. Okay, and it could be hard to understand, but it's the same today, and you see it in. I like to use the music as an example. New York is the home of rap, as far as everybody's concerned, right? At one time, New York would not accept Southern rap. You know what I mean? You're going from spitting a cold 16 to wipe me down. Hellos, shoes, wipe me. You get the point? And to New York, that's like, what is he saying? Like, it's simple, it's basic. You get the point? Not accepting it. What's the new thing? That UK rap. I ain't want no part of that. The accent, this, that, the other. It's just think that, but forget the music and brothers. And this brother come up, New York is the Yankees and the Timbs. This brother come up, shorts, the football too, like how Nelly them used to dress. And it's like, fuck this bastard. Yeah, I mean, you get the point. The UK brothers, they wear a sweater all the time. The temperature there is a little bit different. You hear their accent and see their dress code, and it's like, this guy here, even they say, I can't get used to the accent. It's just, you get the point? Just think that. Think that, but just take away the music and just put it with, he's not from here. He's not from this block. I'm not accepting it. He's not here. You get the point? Just think like that. That's just it. You have some stuff that was going on. That's what we're talking about. So in times past, the brothers from Jerusalem would not accept the brothers who was not from Jerusalem. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 12. That at that time ye were without Christ.
And before, we did not have that king. Or we did not have that man who, put some in a small cup for me too. We would not have that, we'll do your thing now. So we did not have that brother who did what?
Bring this back together.
who took our place in debt. That's the best way to put it. We didn't have that brother who made our faults void.
Right.
Up until that point, all our faults was held, is held over you like you're applying for a credit card.
Right.
You go apply for a loan, credit card, whatever. Now it's, but them bills didn't pay any price. I can't give you shit. Christ come on the scene, boom, starting afresh.
Right.
So you say that at that time you were without Christ. You didn't have your king, and you didn't have somebody to take your place and die because you deserve to die, you dirty bastard. Right, go ahead.
Being aliens from the Commonwealth of Israel.
Being aliens from the Commonwealth of Israel.
Right.
Commonwealth meaning what?
The government.
The common place. Common place where all the wealth is. Just to think just like that. Right? Being aliens or strangers from the Commonwealth of Israel. What the brother? He parking? Yeah, damn, you can wait for him, man. I talked to him about that shit. Right? So the aliens, right? Alien is stranger, meaning that's what he means, all right? Go ahead.
And strangers.
And what?
Strangers.
And what?
Strangers.
Go ahead.
From the covenants of promise.
Right? Because these brothers and sisters were born in a different land, in a different, country, under a different, God, they were into us. Right? Anybody need one too? Just let the brother know, all right? All right? Somebody could take half of mine, right? But I'm trying to put me in a merry mood. I'm merry already.
Because if I may say this goes back to according to the law, if you have missed one Passover, then you were considered a stranger.
If you didn't get circumcised on the 8th day,
right?
Not the 9th,
right?
Some shit happened. Somebody miscounts. Remember, Christ ain't there, so this is the letter of the law, not the spirit.
Right.
This thing before Christ is the letter of the law.
Right.
Stone the sodomite, stone the adulteress,
right?
Stone the witch. Ain't no go and sin no more. Ain't none of that shit. It's the letter of the law. So you don't understand. The donkey died on the way here. We couldn't. 8th day, shut the door. And okay, the child who would be separated. The child who would, you're talking about, bro, you got it. Check the door, all right? The child who would be separated. You had to go with the child. It's not like you put the child outside. You had to go.
Right.
You get the point? So you exile because of that. You understand what I'm saying? So this is the letter of the law. So he's saying in times past, y'all didn't have Yahushua. Y'all didn't have the spirit of the law.
Right.
And now you're made strangers to the Commonwealth.
Right.
You get the point? Just think how we are as a people now. And think about imagine how we would treat each other in power.
Right.
Like if you had power, like real power. Like how the white man got power over his country. Right. Imagine we had our own place. Don't have the spirit of Yahushua, but have power to exact judgment on the law. You know what I mean? Pull the chair back here so I can see it. I done get halfway blocked off from that side already. It's a lucky. All right. Since you could probably sit in this one up here. I don't know why we like to sit in the back of everything. You go chair empty up front. She's like, I'm gonna sit in the back. Yeah, I mean. Go ahead, Costin.
Yes, sir. If we had that power and Christ wasn't on the scene, we'd probably kill each other.
Yeah, that's what the hell was going on. That's what they was doing.
Right.
They was stoning everybody, even though they was adulterers. They was cutting people's heads off, even though they were, doing the same things.
Right.
It's today with just think any black city.
Yeah.
With the mayor black. Listen, I just heard something this week that blew my mind. I heard it before, but I didn't understand it. A few years ago, the DC government they have different departments for infrastructure and housing inspections and shit like that, right? And of course, from Marion Barry era, you have people who kind of grandfathered in the government and been working 25 years, 30 years, all that type of stuff. Right. A few years ago, could be 5 years, maybe 8 years ago, they came up with something where they these is people when they started in those departments, they don't have no bachelor's degree. This is Because remember, Barry was all about black economics, putting you in, and you learn on the job. So they ain't got no degree. So now you have 2020, 2010, it's like 2020, 2010, 2005, 2010, you have graduates coming out with these degrees. Right. But of course, they want jobs, and they're white. So they did this thing where they, in order to keep your job, you have to pass these tests every year, right, to make sure you up on the regulation of everything, and you could function with the current standards. Right. Now these is people who's 55 years old, 60 years old, right, and they had to go take this test. Of course, a lot of them were black and failed the test. And because they failed the test, according to the new policy, they can't continue to work. Right. At 55, you post a pension. Right. You tell a man he can't continue to work. You looking at, well, if I live till 80, between 55 and 80, I have no income. Right. So they told them the only option was to go find another job at 55 or resign and take a percentage of your benefits going forward. Also, they could clear the slate from the financial burden they would have to be obligated to these older generation, and they could hire white people. Wow. The white man is the devil.
That's right.
You understand? But when was the last white mayor DC had? Bowser, Vincent Gray. What was the other bald head one before? Fenty. And what's his name? I just called his name. His brother. Marion Barry. You get the point? I don't think they had a white mayor after Marion Barry. Or they didn't? They had probably one? No, I think they didn't have. It's supposed to be Chocolate City, right? Right. But we ain't standing up for each other the way Marion Barry would go in Congress and cuss their ass out there. Right. He cursed them out for trying to take things from black people, take the land and shit. And that's why even after the drug shit, people still voting back in. Yeah, like we don't give a they put in a song how we have a crackhead mayor, but we don't care, we still voting back. One of them go songs in DC. You get the point? They put it in a song like we don't care what you say, we still vote that nigga back in. Right. So he fought for black people. Now that's the type of people we are without YAHANNA. Right. Like how evil you are to take not just money out at the elderly's hand, but future money. You know what you're doing to that person at that age, Jack? Right, sir. You know the kind of distress you're causing at that age? Right. That's the type of shit. Now that plus the gentrification shit, where the preachers were telling them sell their houses. Right, it's crazy. That's life with black power with no YAHANNA. Right. That's the type of life you're going to be living.
So, sir, if I may, I don't even think there's no more summer youth programs.
Not like how Barry had it.
Right.
Not like how Barry had it. You get the point? Nothing. It's just none. All that is out is waste of money, waste of funding, blah, 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 blah. All that is out. That's life without YAHANNA. Right. Where we would just do what's convenient for your own gain at the time. Right. All right? They want white people in, and we'll give you more federal funding because you're not a state. You know what I mean? You're not a state, so it's different. So you got to get federal funding, and you have to justify budgets every year. You know what? We'll cut you some slack. We'll give you, 50 extra million, or how much extra million, if you could just, reduce, and they'll give it some nice name. Reduce the grandfathered budget or the archaic budget of 1985. Some pretty name, which means take black people money. Right. You understand? Okay. And they'll come and talk about that. You really wouldn't know what's going on unless you're in a house with somebody who heart dropped when they heard the shit. Right. And it's unfair to tell somebody 55 years old they have to go study to pass a test that somebody who's 18, 19, or 20 studied for 4 years for. Right. You have to go pass. And if you know something about the white man, his exams change. Right. The language in the test changes from year to year. If you do SATs in the 80s, you cannot go do SATs now. Right. You're going to lose it. Right.
So not even that, even things like addition and subtraction.
Oh my God. I try to watch a video. Forget to watch a video. My own kids, brother, they had to do this virtual shit on the screen. And I'm sitting there watching them do it, and I took the computer off. I said, you're not doing it like that.
Right.
The answer, she gonna get the marks for the answer. If she says wrong, tell me I'm gonna go see this damn teacher.
Right.
Because it's bullshit they're doing.
Right.
I don't know why they're changing this shit up so much, but it's stupid.
Right.
Now you have somebody who graduated high school in '54,
right,
who marched with Martin Luther King. Right. Now they gotta go take a test that you just standardized in what 2004, 2002. You're a bastard.
God, sir.
You're a bastard. There ain't no sweat. The kingdom is coming, bro.
That's right. Right.
And I promise retribution, bro.
That's right.
I would just change the law a little bit. I would be like, you park here, but it says 6 inches away. Oh, it does. It says 4 now. And that's going to be the end of that.
That's right. That's right.
You get the point? So that's life without Yahushua.
Yeah. And
he's saying, listen, in times past, we wouldn't accept each other. Now, this, I'm explaining to you, this is what it is. You have to accept those of Israel who wasn't born where you were born.
Right.
This fool just wants to have sex with animals. He wants to have sex with heathens. And that's that. There's another one too. Just look up all the stranger scriptures, right? Just look up all the stranger scriptures. Hold on one second. I just had one more. I ain't going to spend too much time on it.
We also got a question on the Facebook.
Let's get that. Look up any of the stranger scriptures in the Old Testament, and of course we went through the Hebrew for it to show you it's talking about somebody who is sojourning, staying with you for a time in the spirit of seeking hospitality. You get the point? We don't give nobody no hospitality. You get the point?
Right.
You could stay outside the walls, but not in the walls. All right.
Right.
Go ahead.
So like I said, I'm reading it. It's a question. My brother asked, and also Warren answered it last night. So I don't know if you have to ask it again.
No, so you could ask him if he needs it again. All right. If not, then we just move on. All right. Anybody else?
No, that's it for right now, sir.
Okay, no sweat. Tonight I wanted to go into the law of war. All right. The law of war is absolutely important. Is absolutely important in life.
Right.
It's absolutely important in life. Everybody needs to develop some sort of warfare in their heart. Whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, whether you're a child,
right,
a newborn baby facing abortion fights to live. Even a baby will fight to live. You have to fight that. You have to, by law, you have to treat it like if I don't fight, I'm damn near committing a sin.
Right, right.
And you have to treat it like that because without fighting, eventually you will start doing it. And you're going to rationalize it like this faggot here who wants to have sex with white women.
Exactly.
He just doesn't want to fight. If you ask him, well, why you like white women? What's he say? What's he going to say? Come on, you already had the arguments. Go ahead.
They're easy.
They're easy. They're very easy. Lassie has sex with a white woman. She's so easy. Go ahead.
Because black women are harder to deal with.
Black women are harder to deal with.
I got one.
Go ahead.
A stupid one that I think Jay
I think I know where you're going. Go ahead.
Jay told it. I think he told one of the generals. It was the white lady who helped him. Who was his lawyer and got him out of jail. So that's why he would have gone.
That was a camp. That was a DC camp. Now I remember that fool. That pissed me the hell off. Man. He said, my lawyer's white and I would have gone to jail if it wasn't for her. I was like, well, all right, nigga, go suck on your end. You know what I mean? So they got all these excuses. And it's really because you don't want to fight the woman.
Right.
These bros need fighting at all. I'm telling you straight up, Salakia. They need some war.
That's right.
Okay, this is what you don't know because you're such a damn pussy.
Right.
They want you to fight.
Right.
They want to see you how far they're going to get to put the, foot over the line. How How far they gonna you gonna let me lean out the car?
Right,
They're trying it because no disrespect, but they grown children.
Yeah,
they're children.
God.
When you good with her, what you call her?
Baby.
She grown. She's 6 foot tall. This is 5'5", 5'9". She ain't no baby. She ain't no diapers.
Right.
But that's what you call it. So you gotta understand, it's the same thing. And he wants to now go marry himself to some heathen, he's just a weakling. Right. He's just absolutely weak. That's your only reason? Because the sisters is hard to deal with? Nigga, he's a punk.
Yeah, that's right.
He's an ultimate punk. So there's nothing worth fighting for. There's nothing worth, doing thing. There's nothing worth just going to war for and, shaking the house and blazing and putting some, discipline back in her.
That's right.
Till she be like, oh shit, this nigga here.
Yeah.
He like my ass on fire. She gonna cry. Yeah. She gonna sit there and cry and weep. But she know he gonna light me up.
Yeah, God.
I got a man.
Right.
I got a man.
That's right.
She gonna know that at the end of it all, I got a man. Listen, and you gonna reach the point where she gonna cry and tell you, well, at least I know you care. She fucking twisted. And you just gonna be like, all right, come on over here and get this hell now.
Yeah.
Come on, you gonna pay for this shit here now. But what he want dry old Karen answer. Because Karen is easy. Because you just pussy, you're just a punk.
Yep.
You're just a punk. And you have to learn that there's nothing after the cradle, you better start fighting.
Right.
I mean, once you could start a walk, the fight begins. I can't even say that. As soon as you come out of the womb, it's a fight because even breastfeeding, a baby doesn't naturally latch on to the breast. It's a battle between the mother and the baby. Right. The baby had to wait and feel it and realize this is where milk comes from. Remember, they ain't seeing clear at first. Their eyes be blurry for some months. They don't see colors and shapes. But it's blurred. They don't see shit. They recognize sounds and touches. So now there's a war there. It's a war with everything. You're trying to change the diaper, the legs go up. It's constant war. But brother, from the time you could walk, things start getting taken away from you. You don't get as much treatment as before. No, up. Right. No, walk. Right. And the child who doesn't want to walk, what they do at that point? Crawl crawling is still good. They're still trying to move. Right. The child who don't want to walk, and remember, they're walking already, so crawling is not even an option. It's like you get a new car and you're used to riding the bus. Are you going to ride the bus by choice? You're going to drive the fucking car.
Yeah, cause
they get new legs. That's why they run all over the place, because it's new to them. They get new legs. They're not going to by choice crawl. The crawling is over, unless we play in a crawling game. Right. Them legs get tired. Now what? Up. No, walk. Right. Up. No, walk. You're going to walk, or I'm going to leave you. What does the child do?
Walk.
And say again?
Drops himself on the floor.
Sits down, plop, looks down, and starts to wail. Is the walk going to kill the child? No. But it's a child. So at that point, the child feels like, well, if I take one more step, surely you're going to bury me. Sure, them Africans going to come and start dancing. It's not because you're going to die if you take one more step. Right. You get the point? From that point on in life, you're going to have to fight for everything you want. Right. You're going to have to fight for it. If you want to have a good reputation, brother, you're going to have to fight. If you want to have a good name, you're going to have to fight. That's right. You understand? You're going to have to fight. Because when you come out of the womb, you're a nigger baby. Right. If you want to be 20 and 25 or 50 and still be known as a nigger baby, that's on you. That's on you. But you're going to have to fight every day, tooth and nail. You got to fight a girl for the bed. Yeah, come. Anybody wakes up and be like, ooh, work today, let's go. Let's go to work. Huh? Wow. No. Sit there for how long is the average snooze now? You snoozing and you ain't even sleeping. That's how bad it is. You hit the snooze and you just laying there like, Lord, send an earthquake. Just, another 9/11, so I ain't got to go into it. You know what I mean? Something.
Right.
And then the clock go off again. And you're like, you walk outside, hey, how you doing? Yeah. Because you didn't want to do this shit. But you have to. You have to fight. Life is about fighting, and that's the law of life.
Right.
That's it. That's just the law of life. War. You understand? It's war to tie a shoelace. You ever see some brothers don't tie the shoelace?
Yep.
Why? They turn it into a style, but that ain't why. It's just too much of an effort. I know. I don't tie shoes. I just leave the damn shoes on top, push my foot. It's easier to push your foot in and then come on and take it off. You know how to untie shit, right? It's just too much. Life is war, and you're gonna have to do it. Give me Luke 14:28. I worry, you want to say something?
Sir, I was saying, even like the way science is breaking down, even from the time the sperm is trying to get to the egg, it's a war, it's a fight.
It's a fight.
Right.
It's a fight. For some people, that's the last war you won.
Right.
The race to the egg. You know what I mean? Go watch your highlight reel then. So swam past that nigga. Ooh, I was fan. Like the little midget will be on Facebook. I'm fast as shit, bro. Fast as shit. All right, ain't no sweat.
Also, too, sir, Salaki, the brother said, Khan, sir, I must have missed it when Officer Warrior broke that.
No sweat, no sweat. Don't miss a Warrior's breakdowns, yeah?
That's right.
I'm trying to tell you.
That's right.
The Warrior I'll be like, this nigga spitting. I'll be checking on the classes every now and then. I mean to spend 5 minutes on each one, and I'll be like, scripture is
facts.
Don't miss our Warriors breakdowns anymore, brother. Where's he from?
This is brother Silver Spring, sir.
Oh, no sweat, brother. You're too close to miss this breakdown. Huh? Next time be in class, so you don't miss nothing. If a Warrior sneeze, you're gonna see it.
That's right.
All right. We'll get a question after this. All right. Maybe I'll Warrior come up here and break it down again. Salaki. See, that's Barack Cody drinking too strong. I get loose. Bro, I'm gonna fight the urge to get loose.
So be it, Captain.
The Lord will it.
Yeah, God.
Let me get Luke 14:28.
Luke 14:28. For which of you, intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first, and counteth the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it? Less happily, after he have laid the foundation, and is not able to finish it, all that behold it begin to mock him, saying, this man began to build, and was not able to finish. Oh,
God, read it again from the top, please.
For which of you, intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first, and counteth the cost.
And do what?
Counteth the cost.
And do what?
Counteth the cost.
Go ahead.
Whether he have sufficient to finish it.
All right. Okay, now this is in no particular order. But this is one of the first things you got to do in warfare. You got to count the cost. All right? It's once again, don't nobody say this is the number one thing. In my opinion, the number one thing is what? Anybody knows? I would say that's probably 3 or 4 on the list.
Get the Lord on your side first.
I would say that's number 2. There's something else that everybody just overlooks, and it's the main reason we just lose all the time.
So like having faith.
That's getting the Lord on your side. You probably wouldn't get it because you're in the truth. Anybody? Brock?
Stop sinning.
That's getting the Lord on your side.
Okay, come.
Nothing. I'll put some valuable on the table, some money, a t-shirt or something.
So can you repeat the question again?
I'm saying this year, counting the cost is one of the first things you have to do when you take it on anything in going to war. There's something else I believe is primary. That's the first thing that you should definitely have. That's the first thing. Without it, then you're going to lose. Or should be able to do. Engage for time's sake if nobody have it.
The will to fight?
That's after. Facebook is gone?
No, I'm still here, sir.
Okay.
I'm off right now.
That's probably my shit tripping. Say again?
Strategize. It's like preparation or the same thing.
Yeah.
Be willing to die?
Be willing to die could come with the second one. This is the first thing. You're not going to think like that because you're all in here. The first thing is knowing you're at war. You see, y'all ain't going to think like that. Outside, they don't know there's a war going on.
Right.
They don't understand it. Right? Because every time, I saw a tape today, it pissed me off. I probably was too emotional. I shouldn't have commented on it. This sister who's some federal agent get pulled over. And she made a 27-minute rant. And she went from poised and articulate and what's diction, having good diction. You know what diction is? When you pronounce it in T's, like can't and express. She went from poised to annoyed to crying, then back. She went through a range of emotions. And I'm like, oh, what a bit slack. You shocked?
Right.
In some way, you are shocked that this white man pulled you over and did not respect your uniform.
Right.
Do you know there's soldiers who went to war and killed for this country and lost friends and lost their foot and came home and a white man not in uniform, not even a sheriff, a regular devil, did not respect this soldier in his uniform? What the hell make you think you different? But they don't realize we're at war. In her mind, this uniform means I'm not like these niggas. And she needed that. And it was good. It was good. In my opinion, she got off light. They didn't even drag her out and put her to the floor and put her in cuffs and then put her in the back seat.
I was telling them that they didn't even give her the full experience.
No, she didn't get the full experience. She didn't get HD. She didn't get HD yet. She got you know them old school TVs, VHF and UHF. That's what she got. She got the shit they hit the side of the TV. Go ahead.
She kept saying the words that you're saying. Just everything you just said, she said in one word. She said, "Where was the courtesy?" That courtesy meaning, where is the difference? Because I have a uniform, I'm supposed to be treated different from a black man.
Yes. Now, bitch, excuse me. Now you find out you goes nowhere without the black man. You could dyke up your hair how much you want. She thinks I didn't see that shit. You could dyke up your hair how much you want and get mohawks and you know, whatever, you know, fades and kid and play fades if you want, whatever. Be a little man, be a little MA. You bleed once a month, you're a woman. You ain't going nowhere without your man. In oppression or salvation, you goes nowhere. The badge ain't mean shit. You get the point? You're going to get treated like a nigga because we're at war.
That's right.
And you should have realized we're at war. You should have realized that you're supposed to know we're at war. So you know what? I'm going to get this cop the goddamn business. Two of us can square off here now. You get the point? Two of us can square off. I got my license piece. I'm on duty. What? What are you talking about? I'm a federal agent. You a state police. Who am I rank? You get the point? But she needed to understand that. Knowing you're at war, brother, is the first biggest step.
It's like I said, now that you say that, that is absolutely correct. I remember me going through that exact same thing, working in the prison and being an Esau's military at the same time. And I remember certain things would be happening, and I'd be expecting like, yo, like, why I gotta show my credentials for you to show me respect? Like, yo, what's going on? Like, what are you doing? You don't talk to me like this.
You're right.
Yo. And it dawned on me, I was like, damn, still nigga. Like, like, no matter how much you think that you inside good in their organizations or anything like that, we are still at war. And it really dawned on me. It's like, yo, I could be all up in the military and in their law enforcement, and they'll treat me just like any other brother, because there's a war against my people. You
ain't bigger than the sum total of your people.
Exactly.
That's what it is. Like whatever, however big you could stretch out and reach, they cannot reach all the way in charge of everything.
Yeah, God.
And he had to be reminded, you're a nigga.
That's right.
Know your place, boy.
Right.
Listen, I watching The Wild and Out now. This is a sidebar real quick. They call him boss on there. Go watch it again. Go watch it again. They have a game they play where the dude with the dreads is a referee. And it's like you had to diss each other within a certain time, and he said, you're out. And he said, let me get Boss Man. Let me get Carlos. They call him Boss Man on the show.
Right.
You fiddler. You ever see Roots? Yeah. That's who you are. And you apologize because you don't want nobody to take your wooden floor.
Right.
You don't know you're at war. You don't know. You have to know you're at war.
That's right.
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying that's 100% true, because there's certain brothers who used to battle rap, and he pulled him into the show. And the way they speak about him, they speak about him as if he was a father to them, because of the lifestyle he's allowed them to have under him. So that's 100% correct.
Exactly. No, listen, that part I ain't gonna knock on him, because he gave a lot of people starts. Kevin Hart was on that show. Cat Williams was on that show. Afion. A ton of them, D-Ray, a ton of them was on there for seasons. Where's the other one? Corey Holcomb. That's the nigga right there. Talking enough shit. Yeah. They was on that show. And he made a way for the Vine culture. People who mastered the Vine. That DC from Atlanta. DC Young Fly, he was a Vine celebrity. When Vine was the big thing. He gave him an opportunity. So I ain't gonna knock that part of him. But why you make them call him Boston? Boss man. You're the boss, but boss has a boss.
That's right.
Because you don't know you're at war.
Right.
You don't know you're at war.
Right.
Count the cost. You understand? No, there's different levels of this war. There's wars that's external, like what that sister had to go through. You get the point?
Right.
Like every time she puts on that uniform, she feels... It's like, Adam and Eve with the fig leaves. She feels like she's not a nigger anymore. She clothed herself in the culture of the heathen. You get the point? All through the video, I'm a federal officer. I got my badge, and I couldn't help think if he, when he asked me for that registration, if I pulled, because she said when she opened the glove was there.
Right. She said if I didn't have on this badge, he saw that gun, he would have shot me.
That happens every day, woman.
Exactly.
What's she talking about?
Right.
Why are you shocked?
Right.
Why are you shocked? Why are you so calm? Why she didn't record the altercation?
Right.
There's a brother in Maryland. He was a police officer, I think. He got pulled over right down Marlboro Pike a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
He pulled up the phone right away.
Yeah, constantly.
And he said, "This is a wolf catching a wolf."
Yeah.
At least he have some semblance of, I'm at war here.
Yep.
And at the end of his video, he said, now I see how y'all feel. Because they don't think they're part of us. They don't think they're part of the rest of us. They think they're different and they have immunity.
Right.
And the scriptures say this is the time when every man would seek to his own.
Right.
This is the time every man goes back to his own.
Right.
That federal uniform ain't your own. That skin is yours, though. Right. You can't take that off.
Right.
You can't dry clean that shit.
Right.
You get the point? Rule number one, know you're at war. Right. Know you're at war every time. And the time we're in right now, the Lord is moving in the earth something horrible. He's moving in the earth something horrible. And give me a fearfully, because Satan seeketh to sift thee like flour, sift thee like wheat. Mm-hmm. Whatever it is. Give me that. All right? Give me that. I think it was Peter he was talking to.
Luke chapter 22, verse 31. And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he sift you as wheat.
Why is Yahushua telling him that? Right? Barak, do me a favor, make sure you write down all these precepts, all right? All right? Why is Satan telling him that?
Why is
Read it again from the top.
Come on, sir. Luke chapter 22, verse 31.
Mm-hmm. The first one is Luke 14 and 28. All right? Luke 14 and 28, make sure you put the law of war so you can separate it from everything else. Luke 14 and 28, what's this one?
Luke chapter 22, verse 31.
Uh-huh.
And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat.
Right, Simon, Satan desired to have you that he may sift you as wheat. Right. Keep reading.
Come on. But I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not. And when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren.
Who could break it down? Arawadi. Give him a shot.
Come on. I need a break.
Go ahead. Who next? You got it?
If I may, sir. This is Christ speaking right here, right, sir? He's trying to get the brother in the mindset of this is a war. Like, you got to understand, to do this job, you have to understand Satan is you have enemies.
That's the second thing.
Okay,
and it's not really the second thing, it's like part of the first thing. The first thing is to know you're at war.
Right.
But it's inherent, you ain't at war with your friend.
Right.
If you're at war with your friend, that's a disagreement.
Right.
That's, misunderstanding. You get the point? That's why the scriptures say go to him and him alone.
Right.
A heathen is different. It's just a different thing. It's the difference between black and black crime and white and black crime.
Right.
One is a family affair. The other one is an act of war.
That's right.
You get the point? That's just it. Israelis kill Israelis all the time, right? What happens when a Palestinian kills an Israeli? We got to bomb hospitals now.
Right.
One of them, 200 of them got to die.
Right.
The other is an act of war. You get the point? It's a difference. So now if you know you're at war, it's obvious you have an enemy.
Right.
So Yahushua is telling Peter, listen, man, you got an enemy who you can't see. You got an enemy that wants you dead.
Right.
And if he can't kill you, he wants you to wish you were dead. He wants to drive you through the goddamn mud and, disgrace you.
Right.
And have his way. You get the point? He wants to take you to the end.
Right.
And if he could kill you, he would. The next step, if he can't kill you, is to make you think you kill yourself.
Right.
Or make you be in a position you just wish you would die.
Right.
And you just give up fighting. Satan's job, brother, if he can't punk you, he turn you into a pussy. You get the point? Go ahead.
Go
ahead. Come on. Come on now. Let me hear you. You might say it different. No, come on. You should. You got a little walk? Come on.
I was going to ask a question, but you corrected. I was going to ask part of 31 says sift. What I was going to say was he trying to beat you like me and Kazak have beef, brothers, right? Just like what's that big bullhead dude, right, the white lady? Terry Crews. He's trying to turn you against your brothers. Is that what I mean by sift?
Sift? No, this sift is different. This sift is you probably have some baking experience, right? When you're baking bread and stuff, you sift the flour because flour now you get it in the store and it's damn near 100% powder. But before, you know how you make flour. Flour comes from grain, wheat, right? You got to grind that up, and in grinding it up, not all might grind all the way down to the powder. So you have a strainer, right?
That's what I meant by separators.
Okay.
Power in the strainer.
Okay, and you asking if this scripture is talking about separating the brotherhood?
He's talking separating Simon from Satan's trying to separate you, Simon from the brotherhood.
No, it's a different context. I know what you say, but that could be a way he will sift it. He wants to sift it, meaning the act of sifting would be to take this big strainer, right? And you put the flour in and you shake it. Shake it.
Right.
And whatever is in there is going to come through the cracks, pure. And then whatever is impure stays in the strainer.
Right.
But the act of sifting is a violent shaking. Like that. So he's saying Satan wants to put you, Simon, in the sifter and sift you like wheat. Meaning you are going to go through something that is going to be like, what's going on?
Right.
You get the point? That's how he's coming for you. He's coming for you like you're an enemy.
Right.
And he has to destroy you.
Right.
And Yahushua is like, brother, I pray for you.
Right.
This is a brother who's going to die.
Right.
He prayed for Peter.
Right.
It lets you know the type of things. Some things you can go through in this life is worse than death. At least with death, it's over. That's why in the scriptures it says some will wish to die and can't.
Come on.
All right, so is it because? Well, first of all, that's crazy. That scripture is crazy because it shows that Yahushua knows Satan's target now, and he's like, "I'm all eyes on you now because you know Satan's coming after you." But my question is it because Yahushua was put him in charge of the school? That's why he was that much in Satan's
Okay, it doesn't say that.
Come.
It doesn't say because he was in charge. However, Peter was one of the 12, right, which is powerful enough. But it doesn't say specifically because he was in charge, and it wasn't just Peter Satan was after, but Christ knew because it's you would understand it as you start to grow in rank and have men in your care. You would start to see when men and women in your care. You would start to slack. It says, this is DC. We don't get much of your. You're a stranger. You're an alien to the Commonwealth. DC is about as rough as it gets. A lot. DC is one big concrete field. You're the only flaw. Besides the ribs, the ribs they got no choice. They got to be at the school. But you voluntarily in here. Something wrong with you. You need to go get a head check. All right, so you have men and women in your care. Every week we have check-ins. Right, we check in with somebody every week, and you may not know it, but this person starts to know you more than you know yourself. This person starts to know you so much when you feeding them bullshit. Then phone like, okay, no problem. That sounds good. Go ahead. And then when we come off the phone, guess what happens? Lord have mercy on that person. Watch out for them. Give them some strength. Because they're going through something now. And I could see this is an attack. Right. But that person on the phone don't know they're in a war. There ain't no phones back then. There was no Metro PCS in Jerusalem. Right. So Christ just had to go on and tell him, listen, you got an enemy. And that sword ain't gonna help you that day. You get it, boy? Come on.
If I may, sir, and it goes back to, I remember one time a camp we had a while back, and you said you was telling us after we was circling up, you was like, brothers, just keep fighting your demons because Satan is going to shaking the tree, the sea. And I didn't really understand it at that time. That it's like it seemed like as time went on, I started seeing certain things happen, and it was like I see what he mean by it's like Satan will attack us a certain way, where it's like he trying to sift to see who goes
exactly. Remember, he have a job too, and all. God, he trying to take down heads. He trying to got him. Got it. Another one. You understand? Hold on. Give me. Pause right there. Give me Revelation. Don't lose the scripture because I'm going to come back to it. Oh, God. Just to finish answer warrior question, right? Give me Revelation. Give me Accuser. 12 and 10. Okay. Start right there.
Revelations 12 verse 10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ. For For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night.
Read it one more time.
Come. And I heard a loud voice say in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night.
All right. Who could break it down? A word.
This is a precept to Job, basically. When you get that vision where Satan walked in and started accusing Job of being faithful to the Lord because of what the Lord was giving him.
Okay, so you break down this one. When you say it, read it from the top again.
And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our God.
Right? Salvation and strength and the kingdom of our God. Break that down.
So this is the reward. This is the reward of all this that we endure. This is the end. This is those who have passed will get the reward.
All right. On topic, rephrase that. Those who have. What's the topic?
Those who have won the fight.
Those who have fought and won. When you win, brother, you get close. A little. I ain't gonna sound Christian. You get a little bit closer to what the kingdom of heaven is.
Right.
You have a beef with your brother. You go work that shit out, brother. Now you get a little bit more.
Right.
You fight that shit that that would make you do something else, and you be like, nah, fuck that.
Right.
I'm in here.
Right.
Now your spirit is stronger. Now is what? Read again. Quickly, come on.
Now is come salvation.
Now is salvation.
Right.
Resist the devil and he will flee.
That's right.
You drowning in something is attacking you. Fight, nigga. Shit. Ball up. Ball up and block. You can't swing. Just don't get hit. Ain't no sweat. You're going to get strong enough to swing. After a while, you're going to get tired of them licks coming in.
Yeah.
You be like, I'll get this motherfucker back, man. I'll get one good licking. Now is come salvation and strength.
Right.
Winning makes you stronger. Winning makes you stronger.
Right.
As a people, we're weak because we're losing. Because we don't know we're at war. We don't know we have to fight. I watched another tape today. Some devil. It's like, yeah, I need to get off of this goddamn Facebook. I should have never get on this shit. Some devil in a store, lunching to hell out, gonna walk out with a bottle of liquor. The cop get called. The cop telling him, all right, stop, freeze, whatever. He grabbed the cop here by the neck, choking him. White man, cop white. Stop resisting, The cop draws for the taser. You see him feeling.
Right.
He ain't pulling 9, he draw the taser. Wetting. The dude is on the ground. Okay. Really nice voice, business voice. Okay. All right. Give me a hand. Clicks. Put the hand down. Devil swing on him again. They're rolling around in the store. The devil get the fucking taser from the car. And black people coming around. What you want me to do? You want me to help him? I hold his hand. Hold it. And I'm like, let that devil get the business, man.
That's right.
Let him feel his life is in danger, so he could blow this devil away.
That's right.
What you stepping in for?
Right.
Which one of them is stepping for your people?
Right.
Brother, we simple. That's why we weak.
Brother,
I'd have been cashing out like, oh shit. Have a nice day.
Like Mortal Kombat, finish him.
Right. Listen, I ain't saying nothing. That ain't my business. Because people drove. Listen, one devil filmed Rodney King.
Right.
From his house. And I'm sure that tape was hard to come by.
Right.
People drove past to beat him.
Yep.
People drove past Laquan McDonald. One brother filmed what's his brother in South Carolina? He got shot 8 times in the back.
Walter Scott.
There's a brother who did that. I mean, the Arabs watched the other brother in Mississippi who get shot under the car. It was Terrence Sterling.
Alton Sterling?
Alton Sterling in Louisiana.
God.
The Arabs watched the whole thing and they didn't come out and say, don't touch him, he ain't do nothing wrong.
Right.
They didn't help. You get the point?
Right.
They didn't help. That's the one thing the brother working downstairs. Ain't no sweat.
That's what have close the door, sir.
Oh, it's open? Okay, no sweat. Ain't no sweat. All right, do me a favor, grab the door for the brother, all right? Just push it all the way in. All right? But we jumping in to, are you okay?
Right.
Do you need some help? You want me to hold his hand? What do you want me to do? Shit, if there ever was a moment to fight the urge to be stepping fetching.
Right.
And brother, if you see how they're coming in with so much care, like, what you want me to do? The cop is, call 911, brother. Listen, I'm gonna share the tape with you laughing. The cop said call 911. I'm like, well, goddamn. So when does lethal force come into play?
Exactly.
Like, at what time? The cop ain't even fighting.
Yeah.
You see how we dash? The cop, the devil is fighting. But he don't want to go to jail.
So like, if I was there, the cops ain't calling out, I think I would laugh at you are 911.
Brother, black people gathered around to help. Like, it was one of their own.
Right.
And this shit is beyond me. Mind your business, man.
Right.
Mind your business. You know, we're at war.
Right.
We're at war. That shit don't concern you. You go down there to help him now. Guess what? That devil going home. He's not going to face time like it was a brother. And he's going to find your name and he's going to sue you for assault because you ain't no goddamn cop. And now you're going to be there facing a lawsuit telling your woman, man, I should have never helped him. See how these people are? I should have never helped him. But they would say we racist.
Right.
They would say we stupid and dumb and no, nigga, I'm just wiser than you.
Right.
I'm just stupid than you. You're just more stupid than I am. You get the point? I'm way more wiser than you.
Right.
What am I getting in that for? I ain't no goddamn cop. No? Well, what you doing? What's the whole point of going into that and endangering my life for what? For you?
Right.
No. Now, if that was a black man, would they have intervened? No. Would they have tried to help the cop? Would they have tried to stop the cop from killing the brother?
Nah, sir.
They would help. The only way they help the cop is if the brother's getting the best of him. I seen this video where his brother stole on the cop, and you know, Jay came out of nowhere and jumped on. Like, first of all, the cop was beating the brother. So as the cop is beating the brother, everybody's watching. So as the brother's blocking, he takes 4 or 5 hits. Then he hits the cop. Everybody bum rushes him down. You know.
It's something, you know what I mean? Okay, even that I could even take because now there's like, all right, brother, don't do it. Don't do it no more. Get arrested. But you see so much videos of us there and it's a dangerous situation and you don't think, you know, they don't think twice. They make a decision, I'm not getting it.
Yeah.
But this cop here, his next step was to grab the gun. Brother, the devil had the taser. The cop saying, he's got my taser, and the devil trying to tase the cop. But the devil is like probably like 6'2". The cop is probably like 5'6" or 5'7". You ever see that? He's choking the cop out first. And the cop is reaching he reach and feel for the taser and then pull it out. And he ain't even tasing. He's like, stop resisting. I'm gonna tase you. And he keep going, and I'm like, well damn, at what point are you going to do something? You know when he tased him? When he was on the floor. The devil took him down and they're fighting. And then he puts the taser in his stomach and still warns him.
Right.
And then let it off. I'm like, well, boy, listen, if we don't know we're at war, brother, it's crazy.
Salami, sir, if I may. It's funny how every time they get in a situation white on white, they know they perfectly grab the right weapon. But then when they're dealing with a brother, they say, I didn't mean to grab. I didn't know I was grabbing my gun.
Nah, they for sure knew. Come on, quickly.
That's brotherhood because they know who they're at war with. They not there.
I brought it up some years ago. Until our brotherhood rivals our oppressor, we are going to stay in captivity.
Right.
That's it. They love each other.
Right.
You know what I mean? Give me the rest of the scripture. Revelation, please.
Salvation and strength and the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night.
Break it down more.
So the accuser of our brethren.
While we're fighting, remember he said now the time is the kingdom, the strength, because you overcome. And he said because the accuser is cast down, that accused our brethren day and night. So as he's accusing, what's going on?
As he's accusing, we're fighting.
We indeceive.
Right.
We being sifted.
Right.
We've been put through the ringer. You ever hear you say that? You know, you put me through the ringer. You get the point? You in hell. You going through it. And while you going through it, guess what Satan up there doing? Now, the angels is black, right? Satan talking shit.
Oh God.
That's what you got across for. Hold on. Let me show you something. Look at him. Look at her. No, look. That's before going on up there.
Yeah, God.
And then, this is your sword.
Yup.
Can't do this no more.
God.
Oh, he dropped the sword.
Yo.
Most High, I told you.
Right.
Don't let him go on the cross.
God.
These niggas ain't worth shit.
Right.
They ain't worth shit. They won't even fight.
Right.
And I ain't even come at this one hard. This
Right.
was, you know,
God.
like this is in my elbow. I ain't even released the full thing on him.
God.
He ain't get Job. He ain't get Operation Job. You know?
Right.
And Yahushua is there doing what?
Fighting for us.
Fighting for you.
Right.
He's fighting for you. Satan is accusing you. What is an accusation? Give me a definition. Barack, give me a definition of accusation.
Accusation, a charge or a claim that someone has done something illegal or wrong.
A charge or a claim that someone has done something illegal or wrong. So Satan is accusing, charging you. No proof.
Right.
He's just charging you.
Right.
What are you going to do? You're right. I just can't. You know, sisters be afflicted with this too much because they just, fighting is not part of their nature.
God.
But it's just, I just can't do it no more. I just can't do it no more. You had to be a man over, bitch, you better goddamn fight.
Right.
Fuck is wrong with you?
Right.
Bitch, what the fuck are you weak, bitch? Is she a bitch? Why are you saying it?
So she won't be one.
So she won't be one.
That's right.
You're accusing her.
That's right.
And if she have any ounce of her, I ain't no bitch.
Yeah.
We've been proving that. I can't tell.
Right.
I can't tell.
Right.
And after a while, with enough grooming, she'll know how to talk to you. She'll know when there's an attack. She'll come on with stories. See, this happened, and so, and this girl said this. I knew that was just Satan. I was like, I ain't feeding into that shit.
Right.
And then you don't show, if I was you, don't show too much gratitude, because that's when they fuck up. So like,
Right.
Just be like, that's what you said? Not bad. How was the drive home? But in your mind, she understands something.
That's right.
She understands something.
That's right.
Same thing with brothers. You get the point? After some grooming and checking. You get the point?
Right.
German Hyman does it perfectly. Because you're full of pussy. You sit down there and you taking this shit. And you know you can't say shit to him or it's going to be a fight.
Yeah, God.
But he says it in a way to make you want to fight him.
God, sir.
Well, then nigga, fight the demon. You want to fight me, but
Right.
you won't fight the demon that gets in you checked.
God, sir.
All right, then we'll jump.
God.
Jump, get froggy then.
God.
All right?
God, sir.
It's to make you be like, all right, I'm going to make you eat them words.
God.
Make you eat them words. Listen, I'll be a personal story. I keep Hebrew Academy, all right? There's a part of Hebrew Academy where you get assessed based on your progress, right? I ain't giving no real secret it's going to happen. So I go back there and general standing. And they say, Shaq Maya, it's kind of one guy. And I'm mad him Shabbat. But he playing with something on the floor. He just playing. He said, well, to tell you the truth, I ain't got shit to tell you because I didn't think you would make it this far. Brother, that day, now, that day, meaning, okay, it was, he was doing this good, he was doing that good. He said, well, I didn't really take a record of what you was doing because I didn't think you would make it this far. I said, I think it was a folder or something to keep a file of your progress. In my mind, I wanted to say it to him, but at that point, I was like, I ain't trying to get kicked out, so I'm just... But in my mind, I made sure that he's going to write files about me. That day, I was like, you're going to have a whole room. Fuck a file cabinet. You're going to have a whole room of everything I'm going to do. I stood there and I took it. I was like, okay, no problem. Okay. You think I was going to make it? Hey, no problem. No problem. I'm going to make sure you have files on files on files. That's right. For what I'm going to do up in here. Right. And it was absolutely right, bro. I was fully offended, but I was offended into action. And I learned that, bro. I learned that was love. I learned that was love. And I respect it now because if I was pussy, it was good so I don't waste this time anymore. Exactly. It was good that I don't waste this. And Jeremiah, come on, Johanna, there, Jeremiah, and then I'm looking, I'm like, okay, they're looking. All right, no sweat. I got you. Ain't no sweat. I got you. So now, go ahead. You was going to say something?
If I may, sir, I didn't get to have that one. It's personal. I remember being in the world, getting high and watching General Muhammad, and he'll say something, the way he should say things like, I'm going to be smoking. He's like, and if you smoke, you're a faggot. And I'm like, yeah, faggot. Yeah, right. Like, and then he'll bring the grimace at like, see, you're faggot. And I remember smoking, like, who the fuck are you talking to? And I'm in the car, but it felt so personal, like, I wanted to fight, but it's like, you know what? Let me fight this fucking demon that hard.
Listen, it's life is war. God. Life is absolute war. God. And if you're not willing to do it, brother, then Satan is going to have you. And I could tell you something. Giving up seems like the easier route. God. It's actually the harder route.
Yeah, come on, sir.
Because Satan is like, it's like a pimp that would lure you away from the strict rules of your father to open your rear end to anybody who would pay him enough. But in the time when you're making that decision to leave the protection of your father's house to join him, it's calm. Because that's the seduction. You know what? I can't take all this yelling, this old man. He wants me to wear this. He don't want me to hang out with this one. Right. He don't want me to have this hairstyle. He want me to go play basketball. I don't want to play. In that time, it seems like it's calm because this new person, he lets you do what you want to do. Right. See, that's what I'm talking about. You understand me. Right. Good. Until you're locked in a room and somebody digging your insides out. I hate to use the metaphor, but that's what's going to happen when you decide to not fight anymore. And guess what happens? What happens then? You wish you were home. God. You wish you stayed. Anything is better than this.
Yep, God, sir.
Anything. And then you begin to do what? Fight to get back. Fight tooth and nail to get back wherever the fuck you was. Right. Is it worth it? Is it worth it to learn that way? Then don't learn that way then. Don't be a goddamn punk, man. Don't be a pussy. Don't be weak. Right. Just get down and dirty and gritty with it, man. What the fuck you want? You want a life full of fucking cuddling? Right. That ain't life, you know. Life ain't, the real hardcore life. Not hardcore. Real normal life is not swiping a card in the supermarket. It's going to dig the earth and plant something. That's right. And nurturing it and make sure nothing comes and attacks this thing. Right. And grow it up. So now you can enjoy the fruits of your labor. Right. You understand? Real life is not going to the deli and getting meat. Real life is growing a goddamn cow and make sure it don't get ticks and mange and whatever, bacteria they get from eating whatever grass, and then take it into somebody who know how to kill the damn animal and not give you a whole ton of pounds of fat and keep the meat for themselves so you can eat.
Right.
That's life. What do you want? You just want to be provided for the goddamn time? That's what you're a woman? Go ahead.
So actually, what you're saying is so heavy because like for the past couple of months at my slavery, I've been looking at the people who rolled up under me, and the amount of excuses I have to deal with on a daily basis as to why simple things can get done. It's like they expect you to understand it. And if you don't understand it, you're not humane.
Yeah, you're not humane because that's the position you're in. Because really, if Esau was there, they'll know they're at war. But you there to make them not know they're at war, but you're going to take all the blame for Esau. Right. It's 50. It's a catch-22. It's, it will say hazards a job, something like that. So that Revelations, right? Give me, go back to Luke 14 and 28. Read it again and then go past 28 into 29. Please.
Luke chapter 14, verse 28. Mm-hmm. For which of you, intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it, lest haply, after he have laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all that behold it begin to mock him.
Not that one. Sift. The sift one.
22:31.
And the Lord's Luke 22, verse 31. And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. But I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fall not. Fail. But I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not. And when thou art converted, strengthen my brethren.
And when thou art converted, strengthen my brethren. Worm, you might be right. Like he's gearing Peter up because he's the one to take over. You get the point? You get what I'm saying? I don't quote me on it, all right? But what does that last part mean? When thou art converted, strengthen my brethren.
When you have one.
That's what you see when you're converted. Brother, victory in a fight does something to you. It does something to you, and it's why war is essential. And it's why the Christian church is so evil, because it takes away every fight in our life.
Right.
It makes us see things as just pray about it. Just pray and sing to God, and it doesn't give us the culture of I'm going to go to war over this shit.
Right.
This shit, I ain't having that. I'm going to war over this shit. I'm going to war.
Right.
It doesn't give us that culture. And without that culture, you be an adult and you can't go to war. You can't even see the attack. You can't even see what you say? What you do? Hold on. What do you mean by that? You can't even see these things coming.
Right.
You can't even see a situation happening and know, yeah, this is just Satan. Just chill out. Chill out for a second. You can't even see it.
Right. Because
you didn't grow up in warfare. If you grow up in warfare, you know when it's time to fight. Right. You know, okay, all right, nah, this is gloves off time right here. Right or wrong?
Right.
You grow up scrapping.
Right.
Ain't nobody had to ding no bell like in the MMA. Ding, 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 to let you know it's round one. You know round one just by, what? You know that. Yeah. What? What's your problem?
Right.
You know, okay, it's round one now. They ain't no slack. We go in there.
Right.
You understand? But in the spirit, we ain't grow like that. Which is why in here, you have to be, you know how the song goes 0 to 100 real quick?
Yeah.
You have to always be at 100.
Right.
You have to always be at 100. And then another sidebar, the Hebrew Academy with Captain Tawar, I'll be like, yo, Jim, I haven't go from 0 to 100 real quick. Captain Tawar was like, he's always at 100. I was like, damn. You know what I mean? That is a certain power and control that comes with discipline.
Right.
That comes with being tempered. Remember we went through tempered a few classes ago?
That's right.
You go through enough to where you're always at this level, but to other people it seems like you're here. A volcano. Is it any less of a volcano than if it's not erupted?
No, sir.
It's still a volcano.
Right.
But it can erupt anytime.
Come.
It's still a volcano though.
Right.
You get the point? You're going to have that in you, because if you're Christian, 0 to 100, you lost the fight. You done lost. Because Satan's at 100 all the time. Right. He's coming for you. If you don't understand it, then don't fight and see what the fuck you end up. If you don't understand it. Right. Don't put up a fight then and just see where you are now. And if you think life can possibly get any worse, hold my beer. Satan is like, and she down there crying, but God, life can't get any worse. Yeah, I was like, hold this beer. I will be right back. Right. Remember, it goes on the cross for her. Right. Watch this. If you think life can't get any worse, brother, wait and see. Sir. Just wait and see. You understand? What you think is bad is not bad. What you think is bad is not bad. You just don't want to get hurt in the fight. It's half the reason people don't fight. Right. People would fight if a fight could mean you're Mike Tyson and you just knock everybody up. Yeah, everybody would fight. Right? Everybody would just fight. Yeah, but if you really know, damn, I'm gonna have to take some licks, I might lose some teeth. Now you got it. No side. Come on.
I remember there's a prank or something they was doing on the internet where people would walk around with pillows, they throw pillows at each other and start a pillow fight. And nobody backed down from the pillow fight. Because they was just hitting each other with a pillow because nobody's getting hurt. Mm-hmm. But if it was a real fight, most would decline.
Hell yeah. Exactly. This is all fun and games. Hurt is part of life. It's how everything happens. It's everything. There's nothing in life that doesn't hurt. Name something you like that, and I'll tell you if it hurts or not. Wait, who likes a little liquor in here? A little hard liquor? The first time you had a hard drink, was it sweet? Nah. It hurt going down, right? When it hits my chest, it guts to be hot. Yeah. It hurts, right? That broad you like so goddamn much. The first time you go up in there, brother, it's going to hurt. You're going to be like, you good? Yeah, just keep going. It's going to hurt. That baby she loves so much 9 months later, that 9 months is pain. Right. It's pain for that whole 9 months, right?
Right. I got one. When we was younger, playing Nintendo,
your thumbs have a sink in it from the down buttons. They get water calluses. I think you start using this part of the glove here. You start going here, or you're using another knuckle. Because this is war. Fuck all this finger shit. I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight. If I'm going to lose, I'm going to fight. Yeah. But you ain't about to just roll over me, No. That ain't who we are. Where we are. Go ahead.
If I may, sir, when it says converted in here, could that be compared to when we say in here, UPK, get locked in, to be locked in?
Okay, you could say it, but it's on a level. Meaning when you overcome this thing, when you win, once you lock, when you're locked in. Now, you win the fight and you're locked in, make sure and strengthen your brothers. Why?
Because you're next in the fight.
If Satan, come on.
Because they fighting right now. You don't want to be on the canvas.
Listen, they're fighting right now, but okay, just think a drug dealer fighting for turf. Right? That's a way I could put it, because that's a form of war most people could understand even if they've never been in it. Right. If he can't get you, what happens?
You get your homies or somebody.
He start taking on the corner boys. He start taking on your little runners. He start hurting you where you can't protect. Right. Get strong and make sure your house strong. Right. You understand? But he didn't say go protect your brothers. He said what? What scripture say? When thou be converted, whoever was reading.
And when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren.
Strengthen thou. He said that, so he said man. He said strengthen thy brethren. However, these all men are Christ. We belong to Yahushua. He paid the price for us all.
Right.
And if you're a good brother, a good camp leader, I'm talking about authority, you're a good husband. If you're a woman over the children, you gotta understand none of these people really belong to you. You're taking care of them for somebody.
Right.
And when that person comes back, brother, what you're gonna say is like somebody giving you something to hold,
right,
and get damaged. What are you gonna say? How did this get damaged and you all good? How this thing fall to decay and you don't have a black eye?
Right.
How many teeth you lose trying to stop this from getting damaged?
Right, sir.
What did you risk to stop this shit from fucking going down? Excuse me, language.
Right, sir.
You didn't risk nothing.
Right.
Go ahead.
So if I make to go on the analogy you was going off of, sir, like with the drug war and the turf, it's like if you running something for somebody and you say such and such robbed me, and then they looking at you like, you know what I'm saying, they like you didn't get beat up, you know what I'm saying, you didn't get shot.
You fight?
And did you fight? Like you just gave my stuff up?
And listen, this is the thing. Because of Esau, he makes movies that make that aspect of it seem evil.
Right.
If you watch the depiction of that aspect of, well, did you fight?
Right.
The average Christian be like, man, this nigga just get robbed at gunpoint. He asking, did he fight? Did I kill them? That's what we think, right?
Right.
It's so evil to make that evil. The willingness to fight is everything.
That's right.
It is everything.
Right.
If you're not willing to do it, then why are you even alive?
Right.
You mean there's no willingness to fight? There's none in you? You can't take a punch for this thing?
Right.
Brother, it's you have to understand that this thing here we're going through, it's spiritual before it gets physical. And if you can't fight in the spirit, you're about to go through something you're going to wish that you did fight. I'm telling you straight from experience, brother. Fighting saves your life. Even if you're losing the fight. If you're losing the fight and somebody sees you, man, this nigga, he losing, but he fighting.
Right.
Then what? What happens?
Over time, they start to back up like
something else. You'll probably have us to get in a scrap and get beat down and jumped, which I've already done that. Go ahead.
Well, even if you lose the fight, you still have your honor and respect.
There's something else that happens before all of that. Arawali.
Well, I was basically gonna
say the same thing. Anybody?
As you still fighting, it don't have you don't have that certain feeling you had before.
That's true. All that is true. But while you're fighting, that's not resonating.
Right.
There's something else that happens. You might have had to experience it to know. Somebody sees you fighting and says, hold this here for me. And goes in there and begins to pound your opponent. So you good? I see you holding your own, little man.
Right.
I see you was getting it in. But you hot under the collar. You vexed because you don't get dusted.
Right.
But you didn't see what they saw.
Right.
This person was dusting you because this person's just big and stronger. You was going to lose. The script, I was saying, it's fixed. The game is fixed. You was getting dusted from day one.
Right.
But you ain't just take the dusting. You was cracking back.
Right.
And then this brother is like, hold on one second, man.
Yeah.
Come down all the bleachers and start sparking fire to that nigga.
Right.
To the point you didn't even know where your help coming from. And then you start talking shit. Yeah, nigga. Yeah. You start now going.
Right.
That person not gonna risk it if you ain't gonna fight. That person gonna look at you and be like, no, he ain't even gonna fight. What the fuck am I saving him for? Because if I save him now, what's gonna happen?
He gonna punk out later.
If I save her now, what's gonna happen?
She gonna expect it all the time. She's not gonna fight.
I don't have to save her all the fucking time. save them all the time. Who the fuck wants that type of life, Ark?
Right.
Every time, 911, 911, that's who we rely on.
Right.
You understand? You understand the dynamic we live in now?
Yeah, God.
We're not the people who would fight. And now, because we're fighting, reinforcements arrive.
Right.
And now we learn to fight from them because they're bigger and stronger and better at fighting than us.
Right.
You get the point? You first gonna have to fight. That's the type of people we come from. Give me Jacob when he got his name, quickly. All right, somebody else hold 1 Samuel 17 and 29. Another person hold 1 John 4 and 18. Please. All right, what is it? Genesis 20?
32 and 24, sir.
Genesis 32 and 24.
Genesis chapter 32, verse 24.
All right.
And
Bro,
Jacob...
make sure I write this on the board for me, all right? 32 and 24.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, anybody else want gun?
I'll take one down, sir.
No, sir. You need that face blasted. About 3 in there. The air conditioner gonna come on in your whole head.
Good, sir. Genesis chapter 32, verse 24. And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. Mm-hmm. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh.
Right? Who didn't prevail against him?
The angel that was fighting.
The angel, who was this man,
right.
That was the angel of the Lord. If anybody else want gum, you know what I mean? If you need a little, pep in your step, you know what I mean? Trust me, that's the wake up right there. Yeah. That's better than a shot of coffee in my book.
Yeah, God, sir.
Shit will blow you. You put about 3 of them out and you bite down all on one side, you're just gonna be like, woo,
yeah.
Woo, what's that? Yeah. All right. The angel realized he wasn't prevailing against this human.
Right.
And then what?
He touched the hollow of his thigh. Mm-hmm. And the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint. Mm-hmm. As he wrestled with him.
He had to dislocate his leg.
Right.
Get the point? He had to pull it out.
Right.
So now he had to cripple him.
Right.
Because this dude would not stop fighting. You good? Since you want? You good? Since ain't taking no gums. He's like, that's 2 grams of sugar. Can't handle that. You know what I mean? 1 Samuel 17 and 29. So he's like, he dislocated the hollow of that. He dislocated that brother's thigh.
Right.
Because the brother wouldn't stop fighting.
Right.
The fight that he wouldn't stop, it showed something about his character.
Right.
What did it show? Keep reading.
Verse 26. And he said, let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me.
Right? He said, I will not let you go until you bless me. What was Jacob fighting for?
A blessing.
A blessing. Because he knows a blessing from the Lord is what?
I was going to say it's everything.
It's everything.
Right.
So then why not fight?
Right.
If you know the Lord blesses fighters, why not fucking fight?
That's right.
Why not just stand up and say, you know what, damn God.
Right.
However it go, it go.
Oh, God.
When we go into war here,
that's right.
It's me or him. It's me or him. It's me or her. It's me or that kid. It's me or the slave. It's me or this affliction. It's me or what the F ever.
Right.
But we going to war up in this bitch here.
Oh, God.
All right. You ready? You good? You have water? Because it's on now. There ain't no time out. Y'all Jake in the wood. Like, time out. Time out. Time. What? Yeah. Ain't no goddamn time out. Time out. Knock me out then.
Right.
Let's go. You get the point?
Right.
Knowing there's a blessing that comes from fighting.
Right.
Brother, it's worth every goddamn thing.
Come.
It's worth everything. General said something so heavy a few years ago. Your worst day in the truth is better than your best day in the world.
Sir.
And if you're not there yet, you're not fighting.
Right.
That's why you think you had good times in the world.
Yep.
Especially women. Women always like to think life was easier, life was better, but you ain't fighting.
Right.
That's it. You just ain't fighting. You still, that crazy old broad from the world. You ain't fighting to get the blessing that comes from being within here. And anybody who knows it, anybody who done fought, could done tell you, I ain't going back to that shit.
That's right.
I ain't going back. Fuck what you heard.
Yeah.
Damn that. I ain't going back to that shit, bro. What? You want me to do what?
Yeah.
Nah, nigga.
Sir.
You want to stay in there and niggas telling you what to do and this one yelling at you and calling you pussy and fag and
Yes.
yeah. You done? All right. You're a man pleaser. You listening to men and yeah.
Right.
Good. You get the point?
Right.
I stay in here where any city we go in, the authorities there know, oh, that's them niggas.
God.
They talk to you different because of who you are.
God.
Ain't no sweat.
God said.
No sweat. Ain't no problem. I'll take it. I'll get it. I'll get right. And if you really have love for this thing, you would understand that them checkings is somebody fighting for you, fighting you for you.
Right.
That's the thing. Somebody's actually fighting you for you, but you're too damn stupid to see it.
Right.
You understand? I was that day John Muhammad told me that I was like, I wanted to say some things, but I didn't say that.
What's that, bro?
However, looking back now, I kind of wish I'd said it. So it's like, you talk shit to me, I'll talk some shit back to you, but you ain't gonna stop me from up in here. However, I was grateful for that shit. I'm absolutely grateful till this day. I'm a fucking lifer in here, brother.
That's right.
I don't give a fuck what Satan have around the corner, brother. I'm going out in a casket.
Yeah, God, sir.
It's a done deal.
God.
But that's the end of it. The minute you realize you have to be carried out of here in a coffin, now you're worth something. Now we can do something with you.
Right.
But if going back is an option, nigga, hurry up, go. I'll drop you. I'll take you back to where you need to go. You're wasting time. You get the point? You have to fight. This is the people we descend from.
Right.
Jacob was fighting an angel. Nigga, you know what that angel could do? Have you seen Sodom and Gomorrah? Have you heard of it?
Right.
Anybody seen it? No, because the angels touched it.
Right.
You get the point? You know that angel? You fighting an angel? Nigga, is you stupid?
Right.
But it was worth something.
God.
It was worth something. You gotta find that thing that's worth something. Whatever it is, find it.
That's right.
It's worth something, bro. I know what it is. I know what I love in here. I understand it and I crave for it all the time. And I'll fight tooth and nail for it day and night. I'll fight the good fight. Even getting checked and accepting you're wrong is the fight.
Right.
Because you want to fight back and say, no, I ain't wrong. But you're full up wrong. You're green light wrong. No problem. Don't fight. Go ahead. See what Satan got in store for you.
Right.
Nigga been around since the goddamn garden. You go ahead and choose him if you want to. Choose that nigga if you want to. You done with that one? Anything else on Genesis?
So that's it on that, sir.
Give me Samuel.
1 Samuel 17:29. And David said, what have I now done? Is there not a cause?
Salah, I think we have to go up. Where we at? 22?
I was at 29.
29. I think you got to go up some to understand it.
24.
Let's try that.
1 Samuel 17:24. And all the men of Israel, when they saw the man, fled from him and were so afraid. Verse 25.
Right? Who are we talking about here? Hold on. Read verse 23. Boy, listen. If y'all listen, time to go for John Kutham. Listen now. If it wasn't for John Kutham, I would have more respect for the Old Testament. John Kutham made the Old Testament come alive, brother. There was a time you just sitting here and I could just sit down and John Kutham would just break. That was the class. Just break the shit down over and over. John Kutham is a history buff. Right. Commander YAHANNA is a history buff. They love the history of shit. And from a young boy, I could never understand because I'm learning about other people's history.
Right.
And I'm like, I remember being in school, bro. My teacher's like, yeah, Mesopotamia, Salakia. And I'm like, what the fuck is Mesopotamia? Why do I need to learn about it?
Yeah,
and I just hated history.
God.
But he made history come alive, brother. It's something.
God.
All right? So it's good to read the story for the backdrop because of the time I ain't going to go into it. 9:23, you good? Or you got to move just now?
In a couple minutes.
All right, no, so we're going to wrap up. All right? Where are we at?
23.
23, please.
1 Samuel 17:23. And as he talked with them, behold, there came up the champion, the Philistine of Gath, Goliath by name, out of the armies of the Philistines, and spake according to the words, according to the same words. And David heard them.
Right? Goliath was talking shit.
Yeah.
And now, what happened here? I'm going to give you the backdrop. David came up, and Saul could not find anybody who's willing to go fight.
Right.
All right. And that was kind of the problem with Saul's administration. It was built on voluntariness and not orders. And because of that, you see where a man's heart is. And nobody was willing to go fight Goliath because of what they saw. So now David come on down, he talking to the men there. And at the same time, Goliath come up and Goliath start talking mad shit. And David hear it. Keep going.
Verse 24. And all the men of Israel, when they saw the man, fled from him and were so afraid.
Because of course Goliath was like 9 feet tall.
Right.
Swords and armors, and there's like, the average brother, you see LeBron walk up, Shaq walk up. And Shaq is what, 7'1". Right. Goliath was 9 foot. Right. 9 foot. This nigga swing once, he chopped probably 2, 3, 4, 5 niggas down.
Yeah, right.
You get the point? And you gotta understand the time too. A sword is a heavy thing. And to be swinging that thing, you gotta have some power in you.
Yeah,
and to hold a shield up, it's a different time. The closest thing I could probably describe is them football players with them pads and stuff.
Yeah.
Like they got that kind of power, I would say. Go ahead.
What would you say because Goliath was so big, his sword was got like twice the size or 3 times the size of his sword?
Yeah, everything about it is just fucking scary. And you're African talking that. Listen, till this day, brother, I'm telling you straight up, I'd never go to Africa, but just let's say, Lord forbid I end up somewhere in there. I get pulled over, brother. I'm gonna be the quickest nigga in the world. That thing come out, you go about license registration. I'm thinking about the cauldron, the pot, the fucking cannibals. Nigga, I'm gone. Nigga, shit. I run about down the gorilla, the giraffe, whatever. But you, nigga, that thing you be talking and you something else. Anyway, so they got scared, right? Keep reading.
Verse 25. And the men of Israel said, have ye seen this man that is come up?
Remember, that's, as a people, we're carnal by nature. Even when Moses sent the men to spy the land, or Joshua, and the men came back with an evil report because the people of the land were so big and tall, and it's like they outnumber us. And Joshua and Caleb was like, man, nigga, we could take them niggas, man. F them.
Right.
Like, that's the spirit you're going to have. You're going to have whatever is there. I'm going to go up in the face of it and say, all right, I'm here now. What we going to do? Even if it means your life.
So like this, that would they refer to themselves as grasshoppers towards the heathen.
I believe so. There were so many as them. And then they describe how tall they were. But then Joshua and Caleb was like, the land is good because the grapes. They say it took 2 men to carry a bunch of grapes. Now, a bunch of grapes today is about this big. Imagine a bunch of grapes. You had to put a pole on one man's shoulder, a next grown man, and grapes in the middle.
Yikes.
A bunch, one bunch.
Right.
And nigga, you fighting for this kingdom?
Right.
F that, nigga. I want the freedom to get that shit.
Yeah, God.
I want that shit back. Good night. The grapes that big, I can understand. The woman coming out of Israel and that. What is you talking about? And you fighting for even the straight.
Yeah, right, God.
You a dummy.
Right.
Salaki. The grapes that big. Good night. Salaki. Let's keep going.
Surely to defy Israel is he come up, and it shall be that the man who killeth him, the king will enrich him with the great riches, and will give him his daughter, and make his father's house free in Israel.
No, okay. So nowadays, like, man, shit, this nigga big as shit, man. Whoever go up there, whoever defeat this nigga, the king is gonna make him a champion. Right, go ahead.
Verse 26, and David spake to the man that stood by him, saying, what shall be done to the man that killeth this Philistine, and taketh away the reproach from Israel? For who is the uncircumcised?
For who is this?
For who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God?
Right. So understand now. When in Israel, you call somebody uncircumcised, you call them a heathen.
Right.
So that's the reference in the New Testament, Ephesians, when they say the Gentiles in the flesh who were uncircumcised. It's like saying you're a filthy African. You imagine saying that to an Israelite.
Right.
You get the point? You're a white man. It's disrespect. It's, you know what it is? Let me give you a good point. And big up the Katazar for even standing strong the way he is. It's Katazar every day with niggas in New York. You're a white man. Right. You're white. Now, they ain't saying that because they believe it is. They're saying that because they know it's going to insult him. You understand?
Right.
They think that on a mass of people. You get the point? You're an African. You're a white man. You're a white man. You're a white. You get the point? Right. It's that. So now when you say this uncircumcised Philistine, it's like, you feel this filthy mother effer. The who? Him? Right. Y'all, come on. Go ahead.
Verse 27. And the people answered him after this manner, saying, so shall it be done to the man that killeth him.
Right, so he said, so shall it be done, meaning the stuff you read before. Or what? You take it from them.
Verse 28. And Eliab, his eldest brother, heard when he spake unto the men.
Right, Eliab is one of Jesse's sons, one of David's older brothers. Go ahead.
And Eliab's anger was kindled against David.
Right.
And he
David's
said,
older brother was in his feelings over David. Right. Go ahead.
Why canst thou down hither? And with whom hast thou left those few sheep in the wilderness? I know thy pride.
Stay right there. Let that be known. What the fuck does sheep have to do with this if we're going to be slaves, nigga? What does sheep have to do with this if we're going to be slaves? Right. But he come now because he's angry about David. And you will see why he's angry about David. He say, why are you here? And who you leave to watch the sheep? Right. You get the point? It's dismissive. It's kind of dismissive. Go ahead.
I know thy pride.
I know you're an old proud bastard. Go ahead.
And the naughtiness of thy heart.
And you're always mischievous. You're always plotting some shit. Go ahead.
For thou art come down that thou mightest see the battle.
Say, all you wanted to do is escape your work. You just came down here. You didn't give a damn about the sheep, the responsibility you had. Right. You just came here to see the battle. This is grown man stuff. Go see the sheep. Running him off. Right. Why? Because David asked a question nobody would ask. Who the fuck gonna kill this Philistine here? Right. All the men were scared. Right. Eliab was cut because David was no bitch. Right. Right. He was no coward. Right. He was a sheep herder. But he was willing to fight this thing here. Because David grew up fighting. What did he grow up fighting? Bears and lions. Bears. How the girl said, I'm not afraid of the lions and tigers and bears. Yeah, he was fighting them for one sheep. For one. Not the hood. For one. Right. David was no punk rock. Right. He was no coward. Could a bear kill him? Hell yeah. Feel sorry for the bear. Right. That's his mentality. And the Lord saw that in David, that he was willing to fight for one sheep. A sheep who is like, you lost a sheep who was a bear, as a lion, was big and terrible. Sweat, David, you safe. Right. Nah. David, that wasn't enough for David. David wanted a perfect record. Right. He wanted to be known as he died for that sheep. Right. Well, he gonna put his life on the line for the nation of Israel here. That's right. Eliab saw it, and his manhood was counted cheap. His manhood was counted cheap. And listen, I could see it now. I could see it now with brothers who come in after I came in. I see them standing. I'd be like, ooh, wait, boy. That boy bad as shit. Young boy bad. He rocking and rolling. He doing his thing. And you'd be like, I'm happy he's a fighter. Right. I'm happy he's a fighter. I ain't no coward, but this brother here, he ain't no punk either. Right. The future of the school is safe with him. So he willing to fight. Right. Just like the future of Israel was dependent on David. Right. Go ahead.
God will come.
I'm going to let it go shortly after that. Go ahead.
And David said, what have I now done? Is there not...
Read it again.
God will come. And David said, what have I now done?
Read that again.
What have I now done?
Read it again.
What have I now done?
What does that mean?
It's like you checking your brother, your radio, anybody. What did I do now?
What does that mean?
What does that mean? Is you always accuse me of doing something, not breaking the law?
He always getting in trouble.
Right.
You always, what I do now? Well, what? What's the problem now? What's the problem with me now?
Right.
Which means what? David would get into trouble from time to time.
Right.
He was a troublemaker. He would get into trouble. He would make mistakes, but he was no fucking bitch.
That's right.
He was no punk.
That's right.
He would make his mistakes in Salakia, sweat. I'm gonna keep rocking. You understand? A brother like that or a sister like that, they made a mistake not because they're evil, but because of experience.
Right.
But that mistake was made. They think that's the best decision at the time.
Right.
You get the point? And you could work with that. But if he's, a punk like all them other men who didn't want to fight Goliath, they should answer to David now.
Right.
That's another part of not willing to fight.
Right.
You gonna answer to whoever is willing to fight. Go ahead.
What you just said, is it like, not to reveal everything, but like vision council with Jennifer behind you was saying to talk to the brother who outranks you, say something? Is that like the...
Say that. Give me a second.
Okay, like major council and Jennifer behind me said how you talk to the brother who tells you, gives you order that's outlandish, I'm gonna say, but you respect him, but the reward you give it because you're used to getting in trouble and doing things like that. He said if you do this, unlawful, right?
Okay, it might be different. It might be different. I understand what you're saying. It might be different. This is the point of it. Okay. Mistakes is not a license to be weak. You understand? David made his fair share of mistakes even after he went on to be king.
Right. He
had his fair share of troubles. He had a battle with the flesh. He lost after a brother's woman.
Right.
You understand? Okay. He made his errors.
Right.
That didn't stop him from going to defend Israel.
Yeah, I'm right.
You understand? You get the point? This is the point of this thing here is making a mistake is not a reason to quit the fight.
Right.
Swing still, nigga. White man kill us every day. Does he go back and quit? Nah, he go back to work all day.
Right.
He back to work. Fuck you mean? Pull over.
Right.
Yeah, shot in what? You get the point?
Right.
And he evil. He's the devil.
Right.
And what? You gonna stop swinging your sword now? You're fucking you bitch. You're a punk.
Right.
You're a little wuss. No. Let's go. Quickly.
Is there not a cause?
Is there not a cause? Meaning, what's the reason you telling me go back to the sheep? What's the real reason? Is it because I left the sheep? What's the real reason? What have I done now? What I do now? What's the cause of all this? Because I say you all a bunch of pussies up in here? Nobody want to kill the Philistine? You have to at least want to kill him. But it's like you're scared. You'd rather serve him than die? Shit. Let's go.
Come on. And he turned from him toward another and spake after the same manner. And the people answered him again after the former manner.
Right? So now, meaning what happened? Oh boy. Because I might have to let it go. Go ahead. Meaning what happened? Okay, I'm getting it again. He turned again and he turned to the other brothers and spoke the same way.
Right.
Who's going to kill the Philistine?
Right.
And the people answered him according to the former manner. Meaning, what did they say?
They said the same thing his brother said.
Which is?
Is why you here.
Nigga, why you even here? Who the hell is you? Go tend to the sheep. Because he's checking their manhood.
Yeah.
And why is David checking their manhood? Is it because he wants to disrespect them?
Not lying, sir.
Why is he actually checking their manhood?
Because he wants somebody to fight.
He wants somebody to step up and fight, man. God damn.
Right.
The fuck is wrong with you?
Salaki, sir, if I may. That go back to what you said prior to this. You got to know that you're in a war before you even start anything else.
Oh. And they was like,
they thought it was a picnic. Until they saw that giant.
They was like, what?
Right.
If I hit,
Right.
man, I'll go out there. I'll go. They didn't love their wives out. They didn't love their children. They didn't love their brothers.
Right.
Because they didn't think I could die. Fuck it. I could win.
Right.
They didn't think that. Keep going.
Come.
Somebody hold 1 John 4:18. Last scripture that we've done.
And when the words were heard, which David spake, they rehearsed them before Saul, and he sent for him. And David said to Saul, let no man's heart fail because of him. Thy servant will go and fight with this Philistine.
He said, let no man's heart fail because of him. Meaning, you don't have to fear anymore. I'll go.
Right.
In the spirit, pussy.
Right.
David was a bad boy. Thank the Lord for Judah. So I'm trying to tell you. Thank the Lord for Judah, brother. I understand the whole thing now. It tends to Judah must be saved first. There's something in Judah that's the other tribes don't have. And just from traveling a lot and being from one of the other tribes, Judah knows the white man is the devil. You don't have to paint that picture. The rest of the tribes is like, yeah, but he ain't that bad. You get the point?
Right.
Judah knows his war.
Right.
He understands it. David is like, don't let your servant's heart worry anymore.
Yeah,
thy servant will fight for thee.
Right.
Pussy. I ain't scared of him.
God.
I'm going up there and I'm going to get it all.
That's right.
And David went on to win with a slingshot, not even a sword.
Right.
With a sling. That's just saying, he just had to have the will to fight.
Right.
And the will to fight is everything. The Lord is going to deliver you.
Right.
Yeah, I'm telling you from experience. It takes, just like how you would gain something from wanting to fight, you lose something by not wanting to.
Right.
You lose it. It takes a chink out of you.
Right.
You're never the same. Because every day you wake up and you remember, I didn't do that.
Right.
You understand? I did not do that thing. Give me the last scripture. 1 John 4:18.
First John 4.
You can start to pack up.
Sir.
You can leave the computer, the brother can handle it.
Sir.
1 John 4:18. There's no fear in love.
There's what?
There's no fear in love.
There's no what?
There's no fear in love.
There's no fear in love.
That's right.
If you really love something, what the fuck could you be afraid of?
Right.
You get the point? What could you be afraid of? Brother, I could tell you straight up. I'm on the plane going to different places and I'm like, nigga, you might even come back and fuck it. Going up to glory. There's no fear in love. This is the life you chose. This is what you do. You understand? This is what you do. And every brother, every sister in here has a story where it's like you have to stand up to some shit.
Right.
You have to rock with something that is like, it could change your life if it go bad. And you was like, nah, damn that. I love this thing here. I'm going to war.
Right.
Go ahead.
But perfect love casteth out fear.
What?
But perfect love casteth out fear.
Say it again.
But perfect love casteth out fear.
Perfect love casteth out fear. If you're a coward, you don't love the Lord or the brothers.
Right.
If your woman giving you trouble, the slave giving you trouble, your husband giving you trouble, your own spirit, something you conflicted with, and this thing makes you now not show up. You understand? And not showing up is not any one thing. It could be camps, it could be class, it could be whatever. Whatever you would normally do as your contribution, and you don't do it, you don't love this thing. You don't. You love this thing, you don't stand. Listen, Joseph had sex with Mary and said, the scripture said Joseph being a just man, he owned that baby.
Right.
What was the fear? The fear was a whole ton. They could have stolen her. You understand? If the wrong report had gotten out, they could have dragged her out and accused her of being a whore. You get the point? He stepped into it. David stepped into it. Right. Nigga, step in and fight, nigga. The Lord might see you worthy. Or you might die. But die fighting. Die in war. It's worth it, Ak. It's not worth it to live a life where you decided it's over here. Wave the white flag. That life ain't worth it. Damn that. You start with God, pass the class over to priest and officer. Barack.
You good. Come on. Go ahead. All right. Come on. So we got announcements real quick, guys. Find some law.
Good. Security announcements with I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West 125th Street out of Harlem, New York, under Commander YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are to share themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes was a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21. The book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 18 to 10. It means 10th in Hebrew and is pronounced from I.S.U.P.K. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the treasury department and teachers. Priest fund, free will offer for priests, not mandatory. Whatever amount you like to give. The upcoming holy convocation. The upcoming holy convocation is is the memorial blowing of trumpets, the first day of the 7th month, Thursday, September 17th. You can find us in Leviticus 23 and 24 through 25. Remind Akri and Akwati to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If your brother wants to be a trooper in the school, you should start wearing all black, which includes black blues, black shirts, black pants, black headband, and scarf. And with that, I say Amajin. He says do the announcement.
Just one salute.
It's all we're gonna do. Since you got a seat.
Go ahead. Let's go. Wrap it up. Come on. No, sir.
Men of Israel, Mahdi, Shabbat, Amajin, Barak, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahshua, Barakatah.
Yahweh, Hashem, Yahshua, Barakatah.
So, since you can stand, one courteous salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Mahdi, Shabbat, Amajin, Barak,
Yahweh, Shema, Anathon, Hashem, Yahshua.
Yahweh Shema, Anathon, Hashem, Yahshua.
Yahshua, class is switch.